come called as seismic gap. The seismic gap is such kind of a boundary. For example, you take this boundary. Okay, on this side you have Indian plate, on this side you have Eurasian plate, Indian plate and Eurasian plate. So the Indian plate is moving towards the Eurasian plate. The seismic gap is such portion, it is such portion of the plate boundary which has not had any earthquake for a long time. Means बहुत टाइम से यहाँ पे earthquake नहीं आया. So in the central Himalayas, there is a seismic gap. Means last a very big earthquake has happened in 1905. So बहुत बड़ा earthquake हुआ था, sorry 1905 नहीं 1505 में बड़ा earthquake हुआ था. एंड 1505 के बाद अभी कोई लार्ज earthquake नहीं आया इस रीजन में. इसका मतलब क्या है? There is lot of stress which is being built up here, and in future this will result into very large earthquake. And इसका जो sample था, trailer था, that was 2014 Kathmandu earthquake, where the intensity, where the magnitude was 7.8 और वो ट्रेलर था. मीन्स जो बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस जो बिल्डअप हो रहा था उसका एक छोटा सा पार्ट रिलीज हुआ. दैट मीन्स इफ सीस्मिक गैप इज वेरी ह्यूज, इट मीन्स द earthquake which is going to come in the future will be very large. It will have a lot of devastation. Understood? So I finished all the topics of geomorphology. So you have any doubts here, you can ask. Any more doubts you are having? I will be moving to climatology now. The landforms I will do at the end. There is nothing much in the landforms. See, Benio of Varati zone is a zone in which you get the earthquakes. Okay. Upendra, thank you. Chalo then, okay. So I don't think more questions will be asked from the geomorphology part. Okay. So anything which I am missing, I will cover in. So I will be drawing certain mountains here, though not that important, but dhyan rakhna. So here in Myanmar you have Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma. This Arakan Yoma and Pegu Yoma, so they will be diverting the Bay of Bengal branch of monsoons towards India. So this branch of the monsoons will be hitting these mountains and they'll be coming towards India. Acha, Yasmin is asking what is antimatter. See, if you search on Google, what is the most costliest item on the surface of Earth? It is antimatter. So antimatter is exactly opposite to matter. Exactly opposite. Okay. For example, if you are having an electron has a negative charge, but the antimatter of electron will have a positive charge. And if you have proton, if proton is matter, then antimatter of proton will have negative charge. So when the matter and antimatter meet, annihilation will be taking place. Annihilation means total destruction. So if you have matter and you have antimatter, so when both of them meet, total annihilation will be taking place and very large amount of energy is released. Means this entire mass will be converted into energy. I'll tell you the capacity of this. If you have to create 1 gram of antimatter, 1 gram अगर आपको create करना है, it will cost you around 70 to 80 trillion dollars. It will cost you around 70 to 80 trillion dollars. This is equal to the GDP of the world today, lagbhag. That's why it's very costly. It's very hard to create. Because when this antimatter, when it comes in touch with the matter, huge explosion will be taking place. If I have 1 gram of antimatter, I can what lit up this entire civilization. I can provide energy to this entire civilization for thousands of years, because E is equal to mc square. So mass 1 gram of, okay, if you are taking 1 gram here, 1, what is C square? C into 10 to the power of 8. C into 10 to the power of 8 into square means 9 into, okay, this much amount of energy is released, and this is a very large amount of energy. So this is antimatter. See, God particle, ये सब तो साइंस के टॉपिक्स है, अब यहाँ पे क्यों पूछ रहे हो? Major rivers of India and tributaries, yes, I will cover. I will be covering those rivers and tributaries which are in the news. Because पूरा ही cover करूँगा, then time sufficient नहीं होगा, and पूरा हर जगह मिल जाएगा, right? अब कहीं पे भी कोई भी टेक्स्ट बुक में मिल जाएगा. So basically we are focusing on this prelims. That's why I'll be covering those rivers and tributaries which are in news recently. Yes, I'll be covering those projects also. God particle क्या है? God particle. So this is standard model of physics. So these are called as quarks. जिससे प्रोटॉन बनता है, न्यूट्रॉन बनता है. These are called as leptons. Leptons. Electron is one such lepton. And then you have the fundamental forces. There are 4 fundamental forces. And something which is uniting all this. Something which is uniting all this. This is called as the God particle. Also called as Higgs boson. We are in the process of finding all this. So Higgs boson, okay, there has been some glimpses of this Higgs boson when the experiment was conducted in CERN, European Center for Nuclear Research, okay, but not exactly we have found this. So this is what it is. In very simple language, this is God particle because it is able to unite all these. And this is called as the standard model of physics. See Amit, okay, even if you are attempting for 2024 examination, see UPSC, एक ही साल का current affairs नहीं पूछ रहा है, 2-3 साल का पूछ रहा है, and moreover, along with the current affairs, I am also discussing the static topics. So anyways, that will be helpful to you Anyways, at the end, I will also guide you what to do for 2024 examination. Yes, I'll be covering all the tribes also, don't worry. So this is Arakan Yoma, Pegu Yoma. See, here you have Purvanchal mountains. On the eastern side of India, you have Purvanchal mountain. And this Purvanchal mountain is divided into 4 parts again. मिजोरम में मिजो हिल्स और लुशाई हिल्स, मणिपुर में मणिपुरी हिल्स, नागा में नागा हिल्स, एंड ओके इन अरुणाचल प्रदेश इट्स कॉल्ड एज पटकाई बम. Okay, so this is part of the Purvanchal. They might ask you the names of the hills because recently there has been an issue of Greater Nagalim. So people of Nagaland, not everyone, but some groups of Nagaland. So though there is a reconciliation going on between the government and this group, NSCM, Isak Mahua group. NSCM and government of India are negotiating. But these Nagas are also demanding for Greater Nagalim. So this Greater Nagalim will include some parts of Arunachal, some parts of Manipur, some parts of course, almost entire Nagaland, and also some parts of Myanmar across the border. So that's why this is important. And others you will discuss in international relations anyways, Kaladan project and all. Because from West Bengal, from Kolkata, you will be sending the goods to the Sitwe port, and from Sitwe port, you have Kaladan river. So goods will be going through Kaladan river, and then through roadway, they will be entering Mizoram. So this is called as the Kaladan project. Ship होगा, sea से route होगा, river के through route होगा, and roadway होगा. Because if you have to send goods from West Bengal through the chicken corridor, this route becomes very long. And since you are using water for navigation, it is much cheaper. So India is planning to build this Kaladan project. Anyways, in your IR, international relations, you will be discussing this. Okay. Yes, it's multimodal. You're right. So that's why it's in the news. Next here, in this part, Burma or the Myanmar, here on the coast you have a province called as Rakhine province. This Rakhine province of Myanmar, it has Muslims, and these Muslims are called as Rohingya. So there were a lot of atrocities committed on these Rohingyas. That's where Rohingyas are fleeing. These Rohingyas have entered India also. They have entered Bangladesh also. अभी बर्मा गवर्नमेंट ये बोलता है, बर्मा में अभी मिलिट्री जनता के रोल है. So the military junta will be saying that you Muslims, you belong to Bangladesh, go to Bangladesh. Bangladesh will be saying that no, ये हमारे लोग हैं ही नहीं, हम यहाँ पे इनको क्यों भेज रहे हो. But here one of the islands is there along the mouths of Brahmaputra. एक island है called as Bhashan Char. Recent in the news, Bhashan Char. So on this island, Bhashan Char, Char means island hai, Char means sandy island, which is created because of the sediments of the Brahmaputra. So on this Bhashan Char island, you find a lot of Rohingya refugees. So this is in the news. Okay, and you have Sitwe port here. Sitwe port. So from the Sitwe port through Myanmar, there is a railway line, a roadway, and also oil pipeline which is built. It will be connecting the Kunming province of China. So that's why the China favors the military junta rule in Myanmar. China will not be very happy if Aung San Suu Kyi will be coming to power in Myanmar. Okay, and Sitwe is also deep sea port. It is also the part of the sting of pearls policy of China. In case of a war, China can bring a aircraft carrier, China can bring a military vessel, submarine, and it can throw missiles towards India. It is part of the China's stings of the pearl policy. And also you have this Chittagong port here in Bangladesh. Okay, so this is also part of the Chinese stings of the pearl policy. Okay, I guess the map is visible to you. Map दिख रहा है ना? Please everybody watch in the maximum resolution which is possible to you. Yes, earthquake in Nepal is a part of convergent plate boundary. Now the hills here in Arunachal, they are called as Dafla, Meri, Abor, Mishmi. These are also the names of the tribes. The Himalayas are extending into Nepal as Mahabharat range, and this is the Great Himalayas. Great Himalayas, and beyond the Great Himalayas, you have three mountain ranges called as the Trans Himalayas, which are Janskar, Ladakh, and Karakoram. Extension of the Ladakh in Tibet, it's called as Kailash, and extension of the Middle Himalayas in Nepal is called as the Mahabharat range. Okay. So here in between you have Pamir Knot. यहाँ पे Pamir Knot है. From Pamir Knot you have Tian Shan, Kulnun Shan, Karakoram, Great Himalayas, and Hindu Kush. So all these mountains are radiating out. The Hindu Kush mountains are further connected to Elbrus mountains here, Elbrus mountains, and here you have one more knot called as Armenian knot. This is Armenian knot and this is Pamir knot, and here in the south you have the Zagros mountain. So between the Elbrus and Zagros you have Iranian plateau. Okay. All these are part of the Trans-Eurasian Himalayan belt. Then in Turkey, so Turkey mein, in between you have this Anatolian plateau and your Pontics and Taurus. These two are the mountains. Since the earthquake has happened in Turkey, that's why these are important. And here you have the Caucasus mountains. The Caucasus mountains are located between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. You have three countries here, the Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. So these are also called as the countries of the Caucasus. So here Armenia does not have any coast, and here some regions are very important because, so these are important in the context of Russia. So this is Russia. So because of the great continentality, the Russia is extremely cold during the winters. So Russians always, the Russian Tsars, they always have an eye over the regions which are along the coast. Along the Black Sea you have this Georgia. Along the Black Sea you have Ukraine. Because these are somewhat temperate, यहाँ पे temperature थोड़ा अच्छा होता है, इसलिए Russians हमेशा ये चाहते हैं कि उनका second home यहाँ पे हो. During winters they come here and relax. So there is a concept called as post-Soviet conflicts. So these are those separated or disintegrated locations of Russia over which Russia is still fighting. because it was they were part of Russia once upon a time and now you have lost them. थोड़ा बहुत दुख होगा. आप चाहते हैं, you want that somehow by hook or crook you will be taking those locations back, and these are called as post-Soviet conflict, and Ukraine is such post-Soviet conflict. So in that context we are discussing this. Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. So within Azerbaijan you have a location called as Nagorno-Karabakh. Nagorno-Karabakh. So Nagorno-Karabakh is an exclave of Armenia. ये आर्मेनिया का पार्ट है. दिस इज आर्मेनिया. आर्मेनिया को किसका सपोर्ट है? रशिया का सपोर्ट है. दिस नगोर्नो-कराबाख रीजन हैज Armenian ethnic population, but what happened 2 years ago? So Azerbaijan ने पूरा ड्रोन लेके गया and वहाँ पे जितने भी churches है, because Armenians are Christians and Azerbaijan are Shia Muslims, so Azerbaijan with the help of Turkey ने support किया Azerbaijan को, and जितने भी वहाँ पे churches है, जितने भी Armenian army camps है, सबको जाके बॉम्ब कर दिया. एक ही रात में पूरा डिवास्टेशन कर दिया. ओके, दिस रीजन इज द नगोर्नो-कराबाख. द नगोर्नो-कराबाख इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज आर्टकश रीजन. एग्जाम में आएगा, मैच द फॉलोइंग में देगा आर्टकश. नाउ विद इन जॉर्जिया ऑल्सो यू हैव 3 पोस्ट सोवियत कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स. 3 रीजन्स है यहाँ पे, इंपॉर्टेंट है, एंड दिस आर प्रैक्टिकली इंडिपेंडेंट. उनको मिल गई आज़ादी और जॉर्जिया के कंट्रोल में नहीं है. सो यहां पे है, ओके, अड्जारा, अबखाजिया एंड दिस इज साउथ ओसेटिया. साउथ ओसेटिया, ये चारों को ध्यान रखना. नगोर्नो-कराबाख is an exclave of Armenia located in Azerbaijan. Abkhazia, Adjara, South Ossetia are located within Georgia, and in future this region might become a conflicted region. This is located within Russia. This region is called as Chechnya. Chechnya is the Muslim dominated province. It is located within Russia, and now the leader of Chechnya is a very good friend of Putin. That's why he is not creating any trouble. But after the disintegration of USSR, till the time Putin did not come into power, Chechenyans used to create a lot of conflict. Chechenians used to, they were practically independent. They were not part of Russia. So there were a lot of infighting, okay, which is going on between Chechnya and Russia. So till the time Putin is there, this region will be peaceful. And Chechenyans also act as the mercenaries to Russia. रशिया को कहीं पे भी वॉर करना है, उनकी ऑफिशियल आर्मी को अगर नहीं भेजना है, then चेचेनियन को यूज करते हैं. ओके, चेचेनिया ऑल्सो सप्लाइज मर्सिनरीज टू द मिडिल ईस्ट. मिडिल ईस्ट में किसी को लड़ाई करवाना है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस गल्फ कंट्रीज आर देयर. द गल्फ कंट्रीज डू नॉट हैव आर्मीज ऑफ देयर ओन. So if they want to fight a war in Yemen, say if they want to fight a war in Bahrain, if they have to control the protest in Bahrain, then they'll be calling up these mercenaries. So these are the gun for hire. So that's why they are important. Okay. Achha, yellow color is not visible. Faizan is saying there is a conflict between Iran and Azerbaijan. Aditi is asking how to take notes of these locations for revision. से आप लिखते रहो ना, या तो वीडियो पॉज कर करके लिख लो. Okay, talking about Azerbaijan and Iran, there are 4 Shia dominated countries in the world. These 4 Shia dominated countries are Azerbaijan, Iran, Iraq and Bahrain. These are the 4 Shia dominated countries. We are talking about Shia dominated countries. देखो ये पर्शियन गल्फ है, पर्शियन गल्फ का एक लाइन अगर ऐसे ड्रॉ करो, फिर ड्रॉइंग ए लाइन लाइक दिस along the Persian Gulf, on this side you have Shia, on this side you have Sunni. So the Persian Gulf is not just acting as a geographical divide, it's also acting like a sectoral divide. It is separating Shia with Sunni. But recently China has brokered a deal between these two. यहाँ पे ईरान का हेड है, सॉरी शिया का हेड है ईरान, सुन्नी का ओके डी फैक्टो हेड है सऊदी अरेबिया. So recently there has been a reconciliation, means kind of friendship has been happening between the Shia and Sunni countries. That friendship is brokered by China. तो चाइना देखो कैसे लाइमलाइट में आ रहा है, इन दोनों को दोस्ती करवा रहा है, दोनों के बीच में बहुत लड़ाई होती है. एंड अगर चाइना पूरा लड़ाई को यहाँ पे रोक देगा, then the Chinese premier may also get Nobel Peace Prize for stopping such kind of a conflict. Though he himself might be committing a lot of atrocities in China, but India could have stolen this opportunity, because India has good relations with Iran also, it has good relations with Saudi Arabia also, and this declaration is called as a Beijing Declaration. Very good, yes. Okay, so please you guys write down everything whatever I say. If you want more information then मैं बोलता रहूँगा, आप लिखते रहो. ओके अगर अभी नहीं हो रहा है, जितना लिख सकते हो लिख लो, बाद में एनीवेज दिस वीडियो विल बी अवेलेबल, पॉज कर करके लिख लो. ओके बिकॉज आई एम कवरिंग ए लॉट ऑफ लोकेशंस हियर. So since we are covering this region, मैं कवर कर लेता हूँ ये वाला रीजन को मैप पॉइंटिंग में. सी यहाँ पे द सिटी कॉल्ड एज नियोम सिटी. नियोम सिटी इज a linear city. Okay, it is located on the coast of Gulf of Aqaba. The name of the city is Neom city. A 160 kilometer linear city है. It will be a sustainable city. मीन्स बाहर से कोई एनर्जी यूज नहीं करेगा. इनसाइड नो कार, नो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, यू विल बी हैविंग पॉड्स विच विल बी ट्रांसफरिंग द पीपल. प्लांट्स अंदर प्रोड्यूस होगा, ओके एनर्जी भी अंदर प्रोड्यूस होगा, लोग अंदर ही रहेंगे. इट विल बिकम वर्ल्ड हॉटस्पॉट ऑफ टूरिज्म. सो दिस इज अ ग्रैंड प्लान ऑफ MBS मोहम्मद बिन सलमान ऑफ सऊदी अरेबिया. Now, they might ask you the countries which are surrounding the Persian Gulf. Now, this Persian Gulf, it has more than 50% of oil, more than 50% of oil reserves of the world. It's very important in terms of resources. And here you have a lot of countries, okay, which play a very important role in geopolitics. So, the countries which are surrounding the Persian Gulf are Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates and Oman. Now, between Oman and Iran, this choke point is called as Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz, it connects or it separates the Persian Gulf with Gulf of Oman. ये 27 किलोमीटर्स का स्ट्रेट है. ये जो गैप है ना दोनों के बीच में 27 किलोमीटर्स का है. बट इसमें जो 24 किलोमीटर्स है दैट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय ईरान. सिर्फ 3 किलोमीटर्स इंटरनेशनल वाटर्स वेज के लिए छोड़ा गया. सो दैट्स वाई ओके हमेशा USA को गुस्सा आता है ईरान के ऊपर, एंड ये जितने भी सुन्नी कंट्रीज हैं उनको भी गुस्सा आता है ईरान के ऊपर. बिकॉज जब तक ये ऑयल एक्सपोर्ट नहीं करेगा उनको पैसा नहीं आएगा. इसलिए ये स्ट्रेट सऊदी के कंट्रोल में होना या सुन्नी के कंट्रोल में होना, ये चाहते हैं कि उनके कंट्रोल में रहे. बट ईरान हैज़ द मोनोपोली हियर. सो इन बिटवीन यहाँ पे बहुत सारा स्क्रिमिशेस होता रहता है. लाइक ईरान की वहाँ पे नेवल शिप घूम रही है, साइड में से सऊदी का कंटेनर जा रहा है जिसमें तेल है. सो नाउ the reconciliation between the Shia and Sunni is happening because maybe the China wants to secure its oil deposits. तो जितना इस रीजन में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कम होगा उतना ही वर्ल्ड में ऑयल प्राइसेस भी कम हो जाएगा. बिकॉज जब भी यहाँ पे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल गल्फ वॉर हो रहा है, ओके, देन ऑयल प्राइसेस विल एस्केलेट बिकॉज एनी काइंड ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंसेस इन दिस रीजन will lead to the cut in the production and that will lead to the escalation of prices in the world market. So here some of the important locations are, here South Pars is there. South Pars is an island. This is rich in gas, this is rich in methane, and this island is shared between Iran and Qatar. अभी कतर को फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता शिया सुन्नी कुछ भी हो, कतर इज़ दो सुन्नी, लेकिन when it comes to gas it is very good friends with Iran. In fact there have been allegations against Qatar made by Saudi that Qatar also supports Hezbollah. So Hezbollah is an Shia militant group, you can say. It's located, it's active in the southern part of Lebanon. Southern Lebanon में Hezbollah बहुत active है, and it is almost funded by Iran. And Hezbollah का main enemies कौन है यहाँ पे? सऊदी भी enemy है यहाँ पे और उसका enemy यहाँ पे इजराइल भी है, दोनों ही इसके enemies है. So this is South Pars, very important. And here you have Sanfania and Gauhar. Gauhar is the world's largest onshore oil field. Means land में जो oil field है largest world का Gauhar है, it's in Saudi Arabia. Sanfania is the world's largest offshore oil field. Again it belongs to Saudi Arabia. So here you have Kuwait. Okay. So beside Kuwait you have Iraq. So Iraq का कोस्ट बहुत ही छोटा है, कुवैत का बड़ा है. कुवैत छोटी कंट्री है बट कोस्ट बड़ा है. इराक बड़ी कंट्री है, कोस्ट छोटा है. That's why Iraq, okay, when Saddam Hussein was in power, he used to always attack Kuwait because of its coastline. Now the Kuwait has to get protection from somewhere, so that's why Kuwait has taken the help of USA, and यहाँ पे USA का air base है कुवैत में. I told you, okay, whenever I'll tell you something, I'll tell you the reason also behind it. I'm not simply telling you यहाँ पे USA का air base है, क्यों है वो भी बता रहा हूँ. इससे क्या होगा, आपको चीज़ें easily याद रहेंगे. Okay, let me see the comments here. Yes, Anurag, you are right. 5th Fleet of American Navy is standing in Hormuz. Hezbollah. See, in Persian Gulf, oil is present, not inside the earth. It's present in the upper layers only. It's present in the anticlines of sedimentary rocks. Then look at Qatar here. Qatar recently had a diplomatic crisis with Saudi Arabia. It was also removed from the OPEC countries. Again, it has been inducted back into GCC. Anyways, these things we'll be studying in international relations. एक देख लेना एक बार. अभी GCC का पार्ट कौन है, कौन नहीं है. And OPEC, oil producing and exporting countries का पार्ट कौन है, कौन नहीं है, ये भी देख लेना. Okay? Because Qatar had entry and exit from these two groups. Okay, that's it about this part, Persian Gulf part. Let's discuss about the Caspian part here. This is the Caspian Sea. So Caspian Sea is not a sea actually, it's a lake. It has a coast with Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Kazakhstan is recently in the news because The people have protested against the price rise of petroleum products. पेट्रोल का प्राइस बढ़ गया था वहाँ पे, so लोगों ने वहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट किया. तो प्रोटेस्ट पेट्रोल प्राइस राइज के लिए नहीं है, एक्चुअली दे आर फ्रस्ट्रेटेड विद द डिक्टेटरशिप रूल. Nur Sultan and his puppet government is in power in Kazakhstan. So that's why it's in the news. So Kazakhstan has both oil and gas because it has a coast with the Caspian. दोनों है. Second reason, okay, Kazakhstan has 12%, almost 12% of world's uranium. That's why India is also interested in Kazakhstan. So coming to Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, you have Aral Sea which is fast shrinking. ये बहुत ही जल्दी shrink कर रहा है. Shrink क्यों कर रहा है? Because यहाँ पे दो rivers है, Amu Darya and Sir Darya, two rivers. And these countries here, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, these countries, they have built a lot of dams on these two rivers. पानी को पहले ही रोक लिया, dams construct करके. So that's why enough water is not entering into Aral Sea. That's why Aral Sea is shrinking very fast. It's located between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Let's come to Turkmenistan here. Turkmenistan is rich in oil, rich in gas. India is supposed to build a pipeline called as Tapi pipeline. The Tapi pipeline is supposed to come from Ashgabat. It's supposed to enter into Herat, which is in Afghanistan. Herat bhi mark kar lena aapka atlas mein. Herat, Kandahar, again in Afghanistan. Then it is supposed to enter into Quetta. Quetta is in Pakistan. And then it's supposed to enter into Fazilka. Fazilka is in Punjab. So this was the Tapi pipeline which was supposed to come. And Turkmenistan will not be part of any of the geopolitical groupings. वो ये सी को पार्ट नहीं है, शांघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का पार्ट नहीं है, बिकॉज वो सीधा सीधा बोलते हैं भाई हमको किसी ग्रुपिंग में जाना ही नहीं है, हमको किसी लड़ाई झगड़े में पड़ना ही नहीं है. सो आप क्या कर सकते हो, इससे ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो. फॉर एग्जांपल दे आर आस्किंग विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंट्रीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ एससीओ, शांघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. देन जिस ऑप्शन में तुर्कमेनिस्तान होगा आराम से एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो. सो यूपीएससी जब भी ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछता है, इट्स नॉट एक्चुअली टेस्टिंग योर मेमोरी पावर, it's actually testing whether you know these kind of points or not. And all the other stans such as Kazakhstan, Uzbek, Turkmenistan, Tajik and Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan को छोड़ के बाकी चारों stans, they're part of SCO. Talking about SCO, you should know which all countries have borders with the China. So Kazakhstan का है, Kyrgyzstan का है and Tajikistan का है, तीनों का border है. And Uzbekistan is kind of sandwiched. It does not have any coast with the Caspian Sea. And all these stans, they were part of the USSR. ये सारे रशिया का पार्ट थे. So when India had very good relations with USSR, India has built an air base called as Farkhor Air Base in the south of Tajikistan. The south of Tajikistan, India has an air base called as Farkhor Air Base. So locations मैंने बता दिया जल्दी जल्दी, आप पॉज कर करके लिख लेना. ये सारे थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है सारे. और मैंने एंगल भी बताया क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है. अंडरस्टूड? देयर इज लॉट ऑफ मिनरल. कहाँ पे? सी सेंट्रल एशिया इंडिया के लिए क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? ऑफ कोर्स मिनरल्स के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट मिनरल बीइंग यूरेनियम देयर. एंड तुर्कमेनिस्तान से गैस इंपॉर्टेंट है. ऑफ कोर्स बाकी भी होंगे, बट इफ आई टेल एवरीथिंग देन यू विल नॉट रिमेंबर एनीथिंग. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग दोज थिंग्स व्हिच हैज ए हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी इन कमिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल. अंडरस्टूड? मैं थोड़ी ही चीज़ें बताऊंगा, लेकिन एग्जाम में आएगा तो यहीं से आएगा. ओके, अगर मैं सारी चीज़ें बता रहा हूँ एंड देन आई एम टेलिंग दैट इसमें से मिस नहीं होगा, देन क्या फ़ायदा, राइट? कम पढ़ो, ज़्यादा मार्क्स लेके आओ. दैट इज़ माई पॉलिसी. अंडरस्टूड? यहाँ पे आप देखो, You have two mountains here. Tian Shan hai, Kulnun Shan hai. So between Tian Shan and Kulnun Shan, you have a dry region. Because कोई भी विंड जाएगा यहाँ पे लीवर्ड बनेगा, मीन्स बारिश नहीं आएगा यहाँ पे. इट्स एक्सट्रीम डेजर्ट. In fact, it has a very big sandy desert, and this is called as the Tarim Basin बोलते हैं दोनों के बीच में. Tarim Basin. Tarim Basin के अंदर you have a desert called as Takla Makan Desert. Takla Makan Desert है, ये ध्यान रखना. Okay, and one more thing here, I forgot to tell. In Turkmenistan, you have a desert. The name of the desert is called as Karakum Desert. And within this Karakum Desert, you had gateway to hell. You had gateway to hell. Also called as this दरवाजा ग्रास क्रेटर. सी तुर्कमेनिस्तान में क्या है, गैस बहुत सारा है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द गैस ना, द गैस विल बी रिलीज फ्रॉम दिस सेडिमेंटरी रॉक्स एंड इट्स अंडरगोइंग बर्निंग. सो रिसेंटली द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द तुर्कमेनिस्तान ओके हैज डिसाइडेड टू एक्सटिंग्विश दिस. इसको बुझा दिया. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज दरवाजा गैस क्रेटर. अर्लियर इट यूज्ड टू बी टूरिस्ट हॉटस्पॉट. यहाँ पे टूरिस्ट बहुत सारे आते थे. यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा होगा बहुत सारे कैंप्स है आसपास. ओके, लेकिन अभी इसको बुझा दिया. तो जितने भी करंट अफेयर्स है सारे कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. ओके, एंड दिस इज अ लेक बाइकाल. सो लेक बाइकाल, सी इसमें पानी कभी कमी नहीं होता है. Because previously UPSC में पूछा था which of the following lakes are shrinking. Lake Baikal will not shrink because Lake Baikal has a depth of around 1650 meters, 1620 meters का depth है इसमें. इतना deep होगा, then it is formed by the rifting से form हुआ है. And इसमें ना almost 1/5, 20 to 25% of water is there, fresh water, unfrozen fresh water है. And it has highest amount of the water. It has more water than the Great Lakes of USA also. And it is also the oldest lake, 20 to 25 million years old है. It's also oldest lake. इस सारे रिकॉर्ड इसके ऊपर है, Lake Baikal. Okay. Anyways, I don't think it will be asked in the examination. And coldest place on the earth is located here. It is called as Oymyakon. Oymyakon. So this is located in Russia. It's the coldest place on earth outside Antarctica. Okay. So this is about this region. Anyways, I guess I covered all the locations in Asia. Now if you're taking this Drakensberg, so this is Kalahari. And Kalahari has a tribe called as Bushmen. Bushmen of Kalahari. If you have seen the movie Gods Must Be Crazy, Part 1 and Part 2. So, उनका story है. And this is called as high velds. High velds are temperate grasslands. Temperate grasslands of South Africa on the leeward side of the Drakensberg. Yes, these locations are more than sufficient for PT. मैं भी उसी पार्ट पे ज़्यादा फोकस कर रहा हूँ जो ज़्यादा न्यूज़ में है. Now coming to Sahara here. So this is the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert. And here you have Nubian Desert. Nubian Desert. So here you have Rub al Khali Desert. Rub al Khali Desert. Rub al Khali is the largest sandy desert in the world. You can see also. This is Rub al Khali. देखो एकदम continuous stretch of sand है. लार्जेस्ट सैंडी डेजर्ट इन द वर्ल्ड। थोड़ा ऊपर जाओ सऊदी अरेबिया में, यहाँ पे है अननफद डेजर्ट। दिस इज अननफद, इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, लेकिन एक नाम याद रखना यहाँ पे। हियर यू हैव नेगेव डेजर्ट, NEGV। नेगेव डेजर्ट इज इन इजराइल। देन इन ईरान यू हैव टू डेजर्ट्स, दस्ते लुत and Daste Kavir, and in India you have Thar desert. Okay, so these are some of the deserts in this region. Anyways, we have discussed this region. Now we'll discuss Africa. So last time I explained you why there are so many conflicts in Africa. I told you that Africa has a lot of tribal population, and the allegiance of the tribe will be more towards its tribe than towards the nation. उनको nation का concept समझ में नहीं आता है, because nation states are a new concept. With a tribal culture and the tribes, they are there since from the time immemorial. And if you look at the definition of the tribe का डेफिनेशन ही ये है कि these communities live in isolation. So that's why wherever you'll be having tribal groups, they're prone to conflicts. Okay, and this entire region, entire northern part has same type of culture. This culture is called as the Arab culture, Arabic culture, and this region is also dominated by Islam. Islam dominated है, and this region is also called as Wana region. Wana, West Asia and North Africa, because यहाँ के प्रॉब्लम सेम है, यहाँ का कल्चर सेम है, रिलीजन सेम है, सब कुछ सेम है. Now, if you want to understand the conflicts in this region, okay, you have to understand the religious composition of this region. And most of the coastal parts में ना, I'll use green here. Okay. So this is all Wana, Arab culture, Muslim world. If you take the coastal part ना, so coastal part and southern part, यहाँ पे क्रिश्चियनिटी डोमिनेट है, क्रिश्चियनिटी. ओके, एंड इन बिटवीन ना यू हैव लॉट ऑफ ट्राइबल रीजन्स. यहाँ पे ट्राइबल रीजन्स है, फॉरेस्ट में, जंगलों में ट्राइबल रीजन्स है. सो देयर इज अ इंटरप्ले बिटवीन दिस रिलीजियस ग्रुप्स. एंड मोर ओवर, ओके, मोस्ट ऑफ द अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज आर पुअर and you have tribes here. A religious divide is also there. So because of all these reasons, the conflicts are more in this region. Okay, now let's understand. Let's take country by country here. Okay, सूडान से चालू करते हैं. सूडान में conflict क्यों हो रहा है? So if you take सूडान, अभी recently सूडान में conflict हो रहा है. So this is Sudan. South Sudan. This is South Sudan. This South Sudan has been separated from Sudan in the year 2011. And नया nation बन गया. Because Sudan में कौन है? Arab है. Arabs, Muslims. South Sudan में Christians है. So this is where Samuel P. Huntington comes. Clash of civilizations. This religious divide has led to the separation of the nation. And दोनों के बीच में there is one region. This is called as Abi region. It is sandwiched between Sudan and South Sudan. Now you can say this is the region of conflict. In between, this was managed by both the countries. It has got oil reserves also. South Sudan के पास बहुत सारा oil है. But South Sudan and North Sudan, okay, that is Sudan, they are fighting with each other. Now, if South Sudan has to increase its income, it has to sell oil. If it has to sell oil, it needs to have the access with the coast. So that's why it is building a pipeline through Kenya. एक oil pipeline build कर रहा है, and this oil pipeline will help in increasing the income of South Sudan. Sudan conflict is very important. All the regions are important here. And if you see this western part of the Sudan, if I am showing you the map of the topography here, western part of the Sudan, यहाँ पे देखो थोड़ा, ये थोड़ा plateau region है ये वाला. This plateau region is called as Darfur region. Darfur. इसका स्टोरी बताता हूँ मैं. Darfur region. So Sudan was earlier ruled by Bashir, Omar al-Bashir. It was ruled by a person called as Omar al-Bashir. So at that time, okay, he was a military dictator. He was ruling Sudan for a very long time. Then भाई साहब को नॉन अरब्स पसंद नहीं आए, बिकॉज बशर इज अरब, ही इज अरब. एंड डार्फुर रीजन में जो लोग हैं दे आर नॉन अरब्स, बिकॉज वो प्लेट्यू वाला पार्ट है, तो वहां पे थोड़ा रिलीजन अलग है इनका. सो दिस रीजन, सो ज्योग्राफी डिटरमाइंस योर रिलीजन ऑल्सो, योर कल्चर ऑल्सो. ये प्लेट्यू वाला पार्ट है, यहाँ पे अरबिक कल्चर कम है, बाकी जगह अरबिक कल्चर है. एंड जो मिलिट्री डिक्टेटर है वो अरब है. ये डार्फुर में यू हैव नॉन अरब्स. आई विल टेल यू द एंटायर स्टोरी हियर. लेट मी फिगर आउट वेयर इट इज. सो इसमें मोस्टली करंट अफेयर्स है. सो दिस इज द प्लास्टिक रॉक्स विच आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. चलो कॉन्टेस्ट है तो बता देता हूं मैं. So sometimes in examination they can ask you what is plastigomerate. So this is derived from the word conglomerate. Conglomerate means it's a sedimentary rocks which has been formed because of the binding of the sediments. So this is plastigomerate. So this plastigomerate has been created because of the plastic, okay, has molten into the rocks, in between the rocks. And from where the plastic has come, in the ocean lot of microplastic is okay floating, and this plastic has come from the marine currents, from the fishing nets. It has more because of high temperature, okay, the plastic from the fishing net से plastic पिघल गया and rocks के बीच में घुस गया वो. Okay, the scientists have revealed that the spot where found the plastic rocks is permanently preserved area. Okay, यहाँ पे green turtles है ना, they'll be laying their eggs. So this is how the plastic rocks are visible on this island. So this is the rock. ये rock है, ये सिलिकेट से बना हुआ है, उसके बीच में प्लास्टिक है. So this is how the green turtles look like. And this island's name is Trinidad and Martin Vaz Island. It is around 1000 kilometers away from Brazil. So the probable question is, name of the island. It is highly unlikely. They might ask you the term, what is plastigomerate? Okay, this is the island, Trinidad Island. So South Atlantic anomaly we have seen anyways, which I was supposed to show you. This is a core which is very, very hot where the temperature is. And this is how the Earth's magnetic field is. And remember this, जो geographical axis है and जो magnetic axis है, उनके बीच का जो angle है 11.5. And this is how the Earth's magnetic field is protecting us from the solar flares or the solar winds. Solar winds are the harmful solar radiation which is coming towards the Earth. So the interaction between the solar wind and the magnetic field of the Earth will be creating this magnetic fields, this auroras, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So again, okay, the question is, do all the planets have auroras? No. The planets which would be having a strong magnetic field or moderate magnetic field will have. The planets which have a weak magnetic field will not have these auroras. और आपको पता है how the auroras are formed? They are formed because of the interaction between the solar wind and the magnetic field lines. And magnetic field lines will be there for those planets which have magnetic field. This is a Jupiter. Jupiter has the most strongest magnetic field. That's why it will be having auroras. So this is called as magnetic reversal. A term याद रखना, magnetic reversal. What is magnetic reversal? So the north will become south and south will become north. This is called as the flipping of the magnetic field. So this is called as normal polarity, where in the southern hemisphere you have south pole, another hemisphere you have north pole. This is called as the reverse polarity. So right now we are in this condition, where in the southern hemisphere you have the magnetic north, means the magnetic pole का north है southern hemisphere में, and the northern hemisphere में south है, actual magnetic south. Okay, in terms of electromagnetism, this is northern hemisphere, this is north pole and this is south pole. But geography में generally northern hemisphere में magnetic north ही लिखते हैं and southern hemisphere में magnetic south ही लिखते हैं. Okay, but electromagnetism, according to that, it is different. So this is the magnetic north in motion. I told you na, it is moving from Greenland to the Siberia. So 1900 mein it was here in the Bathurst Island. So this is how it is moving. 2020 में यहाँ पे है, तो 2023 में यहाँ तक पहुँच गया है. It has reached till here. Okay, now Sudan. You will see the region called Abyei region. So it is sandwiched between Sudan and South Sudan. And Khartoum is the capital of Sudan. And it's on the western side you have Darfur region. Here you have Darfur. And Juba is the capital of South Sudan. Okay. Now you have two more regions here which are also under conflict. They are practically autonomous because Russia-Ukraine war is happening. In Ukraine you have the Donetsk region and Luhansk region. They are also independent for all practical purposes. So here also you should know which regions are independent for practical purposes. South Kordofan. In South Kordofan you have Nuba mountains, and this is the Blue Nile region. This is from where the Blue Nile is also coming. And here you have the Darfur region. This is Darfur. So Bashir was the president here. They are Arabs and these are non-Arabs. So because of which the conflict has happened. And in order to suppress the movement here, in order to suppress the people of Darfur, Bashar Okay, he has used this person. Okay, so he was a military commander during the Bashir's time. Okay, it's called as Burhan. So Burhan is a modern person, and this guy is called as Hademti. Okay, Hemdeti. Okay, whatever it is, Hemdeti. So he is the leader of RSF. Okay, Rapid Response Force का head है. And this guy is the person, a head of military. Basically, this is military and this is paramilitary. So the president of Sudan has chosen him. Okay, and he has chosen him, paramilitary. And this person, okay, he has committed a lot of atrocities in the Darfur region. And this guy also owns, lot of gold mines. He owns gold mines in Sudan. And he also supplies mercenaries. Mercenaries is gun for hire. And these two combined with each other, इन दोनों ने मिलके, okay, वहाँ के जो डिक्टेटरशिप था, who was ruling for 30 years, उनको पावर से गिरा दिया था. इन दोनों ने मिलके उमर अल बशीर, दिस पर्सन, इसको पावर से गिरा दिया था. ठीक है, 2019 में गिराने के बाद अभी डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट आना चाहिए, राइट? देन बुरहान, दिस गाय बुरहान, ही टोल्ड दैट अभी यहाँ पे डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट आ गया, डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस होने दो, विल आइडेंटिफाई द पीपल, ओके, वी विल कंडक्ट इलेक्शंस एक्सेट्रा. People also believed in him, in Burhan, because he's educated, foreign educated. Okay, he belongs to the elite families of Khartoum. So that's why the people have trusted him. Meanwhile, okay, he wanted to dismantle the Hemdeti's army. It's also called as Hamdan. So Hamdan की आर्मी को डिसमेंटल करना चाहता था. हमदान हैज ए फोर्स, इसकी जो पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स में 2 लाख लोग हैं, एंड द फोर्स आर्मी, ओके, आर्मी में 4 लाख लोग हैं. पूरा सूडान का पॉपुलेशन इज अराउंड 4 करोड़. 4 करोड़ के लिए 4 लाख. इफ यू कंपेयर दैट विथ इंडिया, इंडिया में 140 करोड़, 142 करोड़ पॉपुलेशन है, एंड आवर साइज ऑफ द आर्मी इज ओनली 12 लाख. यहाँ पे 4 करोड़ के लिए 4 लाख की आर्मी है, 2 लाख पैरामिलिट्री. मीन्स 6 लाख की यहाँ पे मिलिट्री एंड पैरामिलिट्री है. दैट इज अ वेरी लार्ज फोर्स. एंड दीज टू पीपल हैव कमिटेड लॉट ऑफ एट्रोसिटीज इन डार्फुर रीजन. नाउ ही वांट्स टू reinstate democracy in Sudan. So that's why now he was dismantling the Hemdeti's army. So when his army is being dismantled, he will be unhappy obviously. So that's why these two started fighting with each other. Right now ये दोनों एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं. So that's why the conflict is happening in Sudan right now. ये तो गया, ये तो पावर से गया डिक्टेटर. अभी these two people are fighting with each other. कौन नेक्स्ट डिक्टेटर बनेगा? Obviously none of them have intentions to reinstate democracy in Sudan. वो तो होने वाला नहीं है. So this is the story. So this is Burhan. He is fighting against. Okay. And this is the paramilitary leader. So इसका जो फोर्स है, ओके, इसका हेमदेती का फोर्स जो है उसका नाम है, sometimes they can ask what is Janjaweed. ओके, जे को जी से रिप्लेस मत करना. ओके, वो वाला वीड नहीं है, दिस इज Janjaweed. So Janjaweed is the army of Hemdeti which has committed lot of atrocities in Darfur. ये ध्यान रखना. Okay. So this is the transition which is happening in, or the fight which is happening in South Sudan. So in this context, so you have to remember Darfur region, Abyei region, South Kordofan region, and Blue Nile state. And in this region, there is a group which is very prominent. This group is called as Tuareg group. And these Tuaregs are the tribes of Sahara which are also fighting for their independence. Okay, no problem. So this is a Tuareg group. This Tuareg group is very popular in this region. And you look at these countries here. This is called as the skull of Africa. Ye pure countries, this is called as skull of Africa. And this is Gulf of Guinea coast. Gulf of Guinea. So Gulf of Guinea coast is rich in oil. यहाँ पे oil बहुत सारा है. It is rich in oil. And if you look at the religious composition in this region, in the northern part you have Islam dominant, and in the southern part you have Christianity dominant. And जितने भी countries है यहाँ पे देखो, they are almost longitudinal, लंबे लंबे. So in most of these countries, in the northern part you will be having Islam, southern part you will be having Christianity. So obviously there will be conflict here between the religions. In the northern part of the Nigeria, okay, there is a terrorist group which is dominant, which is called as Boko Haram. In northern part of the Nigeria, the tribe which is prominent is also called as Hausa tribe. The Hausa tribe, they belong to the savanna landscape of Nigeria. And here in this region, two countries, okay, you have to remember Mali and Burkina Faso. Mali is mostly in the desert. It also has a lot of internal conflicts right now. Burkina Faso also has a lot of internal conflicts. So that's why you have to remember these two. And here you have oil in this region. And recently India started importing oil from Nigeria. So you will find Nigeria is in top 10 in terms of the oil reserves. And recently, okay, there's a country called as Gabon here. So the Indian ship, okay, it has anchored on the coast of Gabon. Because जब भी आप यहाँ से oil लेके आते हो, oil की tanker लेके आते हो, तो उसको escort करना पड़ता है, उसकी safety रखना पड़ता है. Or else, okay, the pirates can attack the ship. So this region has oil resources hai, and this region has lot of instability. DRC में है instability, okay, in Nigeria you have instability, Burkina Faso, Mali, all these countries have a lot of infighting with each other. So because of this, you have to secure this region, and this region also has become the hotbed of piracy. Now coming to the northern part here of the desert, recently, okay, Egyptian president, okay, has come to India as a chief guest. So, but there is not much to discuss about Egypt. I'll discuss when we discuss the rivers. Coming to Libya. So, earlier Muammar Gaddafi used to rule Libya. And after the Muammar Gaddafi has fallen because of the Arab Spring, various factions have developed here. They are infighting with each other. And here two groups, okay, so one from Benghazi, आप ये city mark कर लो, Benghazi, and other group in Tripoli. So Tripoli is the capital here, and Benghazi is the second important city. So two groups have developed. That's why cities are important here. And Libya also has a lot of oil. So here you have Gulf of Gapes and Gulf of Sidre. So Gulf of Gapes and Gulf of Sidre have a lot of oil. The Gulf of Gapes is also along Tunisia and also along Libya. दोनों countries में है. And recently Tunisia also had a lot of clashes. In fact, after the Arab Spring, almost all the countries in this region have become unstable. So we are thinking that Tunisia is the only country, till very recently we have been thinking that Tunisia is the only country जहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत stability है. लेकिन अभी recently वहाँ पे बहुत सारा infighting हो रहा है between various groups. So यहाँ का जो democracy है, it is not stable now. Okay, so in future a civil war can happen anytime. Okay, in the next 1 or 2 months civil war can happen here. So this is the story of the Tunisia. And Algeria is the largest country in terms of area in Africa. Earlier it was Sudan. When Sudan and South Sudan, when they are combined with each other, it was the largest country. लेकिन अभी split हो गया. That's why Algeria is the largest country. So in the northwestern part here you have Atlas Mountains. Atlas Mountains. Now coming to this part here, you have a country called as Guinea. So Guinea has lot of aluminium deposits. So since I am doing the deserts, I have done this region also. Now coming to South America, this is Chilean desert. So in the Chilean desert, there is a place called as Arica. Arica is the driest part or the driest place on the earth. Firstly, it is located in the desert. It's also on the leeward side of the Andes. The Andes mountains are very high here. Chile is also rich in copper. Almost 50% of the world's copper is found in this desert. And coming to lithium. So in this region, you have lithium triangle. So this I will discuss when I discuss the current affairs. अब ये ध्यान रखना, lithium triangle है. So this lithium triangle is located between Bolivia, Chile and Argentina. So I will clear all the doubts regarding lithium. Properties क्या है इसके, कहाँ पे मिलता है, यहाँ पे भी fold mountains में मिल रहा है. Even in India, they are also present in the fold mountains. So fold mountains से lithium का क्या relation है? I'll explain all of this. Okay? बस अब ये ध्यान रखना. Now coming to USA, again on the western side, you have these deserts. So it is called as Sonoran Desert. It's called as Sonoran Desert in Mexico or Mexico. So in USA, this desert is called as Mojave Desert. This Mojave Desert is also present in the southern part of California. And southern part of California is infamous for a lot of forest fires. So it is because of the dryness in this region, there are a lot of forest fires. And these forest fires are aggravated by the warm winds called as Santa Ana. Santa Ana are the warm winds which will aggravate the forest fires in the chaparral forest of California. Recently there has been a fire. Of course, every year there is a fire, and these kind of extreme weather events have been increasing. So forest fires, instances of super cyclones. So these are all part of the extreme weather events. So this is about the deserts. So what are the various reasons of the deserts? The various reasons behind the deserts are, the first is sinking winds. The second reason is offshore trade winds. Offshore trade winds. The third reason is the upwelling. Fourth reason is cold ocean currents. And fifth reason is upper air inversion. Upper air inversion. So these are the various reasons why you have the deserts on the western side of the continent. Sonoran Desert is a desert in Mexico. Okay, understood. So these are all properties of the trade winds. The questions can come from anywhere. So all deserts are found in the subtropical high pressure belt. Yeah, more or less there only. Not all the deserts. What is a desert? If you are having annual rainfall below 25 centimeter, it's called as a desert. This is the meteorological definition. It is based on the aridity. जहाँ पे बारिश कम होता है उसको desert बोलते हैं. You have the cold desert also, you have the hot desert also. So since we are discussing trade winds, we have discussed the trade wind deserts, right? अभी अंटार्कटिका भी desert है. क्यों? Rainfall कम होती है. So desert is a meteorological definition. लेकिन अंटार्कटिका कितना ठंडा होता है? It's very cold. Understood? Okay, come to these parts. See, this is Chenab Bridge. It's the world's highest railway bridge which is being constructed in India. Okay, so it will connect Udhampur, Srinagar and Baramulla rail link project. So we'll be connecting the Jammu part of India towards the Srinagar part, means across the Pir Panjal, because Pir Panjal is acting as a divide between Jammu region and the Kashmir region. So Kashmir को सीधा railway link से connect करेंगे. So that's why you have built this Chenab bridge. Now what China is doing here is, let's see. So China is, this is Nepal and this is China. So Nepal is trying to, China is trying to connect Nepal with the help of railway lines. So it will be connecting Pokhara, it will be connecting Lumbini and Kathmandu and Berini also. So this is the China's project. The China is trying to create a kind of quad. Means already China has a presence in Pakistan, China has a presence in Afghanistan, and China is building a lot of close relations with the Nepal also. So in the northern side, the China is trying to connect, okay, a quad. एग्जाम में पूछेगा व्हाट इज चाइनीज क्वाड. दूसरा क्वाड क्या है? दूसरा क्वाड है, ओके, इट्स अ जियो पोलिटिकल ग्रुपिंग, बट खुद को नहीं बताते. इट्स अ जियो पोलिटिकल ग्रुपिंग. इट्स अ ग्रुप विच इज क्रिएटेड बाय इंडिया, जापान, यूएसए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया. दिस इज क्वाड. खुद को क्लेम नहीं करते जियो पोलिटिकल ग्रुपिंग है, लेकिन वो जियो पोलिटिकल ग्रुपिंग है. So this is called as Chinese Quad. Informally it is called as Chinese Quad. Okay. Okay, coming to come to those parts, okay, which you are asking. Let me finish up this first. ये थोड़ा करंट का पार्ट है, ये थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है. Okay, so China is building this Trans-Himalayan Railway project. Okay, it will be connecting with Kathmandu. This is China and this is Nepal. Okay, now let's come to this part, the rare earth metals part. Okay, I also discuss lithium here. So these are the rare earth elements. You have a list of rare earth elements here. Okay, so scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, etc. all these are rare earth metals because their formation is rare. So periodic table में ये वाला part है and this entire lanthanides. Now remember this word lanthanides. The lanthanides are part of the rare earth metals. You have the list here. You can get this list anywhere. Now what are the various uses of these rare earth metals? So basically, whatever comes in the examination, okay, कोई भी option देगा, where all the rare earth metals are used, the answer will be all the above. But some of the major uses are, they are used as catalyst, they can be used in ceramic glass, they can be used in polishing, they can be used in electronics industry, they can be used in metallurgy. So anywhere they can be used. But the most important use is catalyst. So they will be used in a reaction generally to speed up the reaction. Means energy used in the reaction will be low. Now, कहाँ पे है rare earths in the world? So China has almost a monopoly. Next is Vietnam, next is Brazil, Russia, India. India के पास बहुत कम है. But China also controls the mines in the other countries. And the production is more in China. This is in terms of reserves. So simply एक चीज याद रखना. So the rare earth metals में Chinese monopoly है. More than 90% of the world trade is controlled by China in this. So if you look at the production of the rare earths, more than 62% is controlled by China. So next is Australia. Australia is only 10%. US का 12% है. Next 10% is Myanmar, and India is nowhere. And nowadays, rare earth metals are very much important, okay, especially in the electronic revolution and communication and other metallurgical purposes. So बहुत important है, लेकिन इंडिया के पास नहीं है, and चाइना की मोनोपोली है. That's why USA ने क्या किया? अभी USA के पास नहीं है, rare earth metals नहीं USA के पास. तो USA ने क्या किया? It has started something called as Minerals Security Partnership चालू किया. So इससे USA क्या कर रहा है? So USA and its like-minded countries. So in order to okay, secure the supply of these metals, rare earth metals, it has formed a consortium. So it's an ambitious US-led partnership of 11 countries to secure and strengthen the supply chains of critical minerals such as cobalt, nickel. Cobalt is used in lithium-ion batteries. Nickel, okay, lithium again used in lithium-ion batteries, and other rare earth metals. तो ये ध्यान रखना important है because of the lithium and because of the rare earth metals. It is called as Mineral Security Partnership. So why this is in the news? So government of India is also concerned now because we are not finding a place in Mineral Security Partnership. And a US-led partnership है, and India को भी यहाँ पे supply चाहिए. What's the goal of this? So, अगर if you are able to get these okay strategic minerals at a low price at a MSP, then it will okay help okay in our strategic opportunities. So why it is important for India? Because it is very much necessary for India's growth, industrial growth, electronic growth. के लिए बहुत important है. So it is also has a potential to revamp the supply chain of the critical minerals. Why India is not being included? ना तो अपने पास रेयर अर्थ मेटल्स है कोई, ना तो ओके द व्हाट इंडिया विल से हियर, इंडिया विल से सी आई डोंट हैव ओके मच ऑफ द रेयर अर्थ मेटल्स, क्योंकि आपको पता है मैं इंडिया से बिलोंग करता हूँ, हमारे पास स्किल डेवलपमेंट उतना नहीं है, हमारे पास जो भी पढ़े लिखे हैं हाईली स्किल्ड पीपल है वो लोग पूरा यूएस से भागे हैं. सो सिंस आई डोंट हैव मच एक्सपर्टीज इन दिस, फॉर दिस रीजन आई एम आउट. इंडिया ये बोल रहा है यहाँ पे बेसिकली. सो इंडिया के पास ज़्यादा कुछ एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है. ओके ये ओके जैसे नमिता थापर के पास भी एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है. सो दैट्स वाई इंडिया हैज़ बिन केप्ट आउट. तो जब तक आप कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं करोगे ग्रुप के लिए, then okay you'll not be included in the group, right? Understood? Use of the cobalt I'll explain. Yes, Aditya, you're right. The lithium can be strategic mineral if used properly. Yeah. पॉपुलेशन के भी यूज कर लो स्ट्रैटेजिकली. भाई इंडिया के पास एक्सपर्टीज क्यों नहीं है? क्या पढ़े लिखे लोग नहीं है क्या? आईडियंस नहीं है क्या? थे, चले गए सब. सो गेटिंग बैक दिस पीपल टू इंडिया एंड वर्क फॉर इंडिया इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ व्हाट इंडिया इज डूइंग रिगार्डिंग दिस. सो इंडिया ने इसके लिए स्कीम बनाया. सो सबसे पहले इंडिया क्या करता है? स्कीम बना देता है. ओके दिस इज कॉल्ड एज खनिज विदेश इंडिया लिमिटेड, कॉल्ड एज काबिल. Acronyms are very important here. So it is a joint venture between NALCO. NALCO is basically the producer of aluminium, HCL and MECL. NALCO, Hindustan Copper Limited, and Mineral Exploration Corporation India. So what is the mandate? It has been mandated to acquire overseas mineral assets. जो critical minerals इंडिया के पास नहीं है, ये जाके वहाँ पे एक्वायर करेगा. चाहे तो माइंस को खरीद लेगा, नहीं तो कुछ ना कुछ डील स्ट्राइक करेगा फॉर सो दैट वी कैन हैव द कांस्टेंट सप्लाई ऑफ दिस मिनरल्स टुवर्ड्स इंडिया. जैसे लिथियम इंडिया के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज इंडिया इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स दिस ओके ईवी जर्नी. इंडिया में ईवीज चाहिए, पोल्यूशन बहुत है. 17 out of top 20 countries in the 20 or cities in the world, okay, highly polluted cities in the world are located in India. So इसलिए supply बहुत important है. So currently it is engaged with the countries like Australia, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile to tap the critical strategic minerals. Okay. No. So let's talk about Antarctica here. So Antarctica significance क्या है? Okay. So Antarctica is very cold. Okay. So as long as Antarctica is cold, it will keep the temperature of the earth also very cold. And Antarctica has an ice sheet of around 3 kilometers. If the entire Antarctica's ice sheet is molten, then it will increase the sea level by 60 meters. Then 2/3 of the earth, 2/3 of the land will be submerged. और पूरा पानी के अंदर डूब जाएगा. इसलिए अंटार्कटिका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. And of course, it has got recreational value also. You can go for tourism also in Antarctica. It has got, supports a lot of wildlife also, such as whales, dolphins, penguins, etc. Okay. You can also study the Earth's climate. You can also study the past climate. Okay, it will help you a lot in doing scientific experiments. It's also rich in the mineral resources, but as of now we are not exploiting this, and we don't want to exploit these mineral resources. because once you start exploiting there, once you start harvesting the resources in Antarctica, then this entire ice will melt, and that melting will increase the sea level rise, which we don't want, because almost 50% of the world's population, okay, is lying within the 100 to 150 meters of the coastline. So that's why we don't want that. तो अंटार्कटिक में क्या क्या लोकेशंस इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो इंडिया का क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है यहाँ पे वो बताता हूँ पहले. सो इंडिया का यू हैव दक्षिण गंगोत्री, ओके, एंड ओके, दक्षिण गंगोत्री बहुत पुराना हो चुका है. इट इज द फर्स्ट station, okay, research station of India in Antarctica. Now that has become Bharati. So you have two research stations in Antarctica called as Bharati and Maitri. Bharati and Maitri, ये दो research station है Antarctica में. And these research stations in Antarctica are located exactly at that location from where the India has been parted away. Means when the Gondwana land was there, India was located here. यहाँ पे located था India. So these two research stations, Bharati and Maitri, किस में research करता है? So obviously, okay, they will be doing research in drift also, continental drift, because India यहाँ से टूट के आया. It will also do a lot of research in climate change also. That is one. Next you have Weddell Sea here. Weddell Sea is important. Ross Sea is very important here. So Ross Sea has been declared as the marine protected area in Antarctica, and Weddell Sea is also like trying to compete in that. In future this will also be declared, but as of now Ross Sea has been declared as marine protected area in Antarctica. Like you have biosphere reserves, like you have protected areas, so this is also one such reserve, because so Japanese are okay going till Antarctica and fishing. Japanese बहुत शौकीन है, वहाँ पे whales खाते हैं, they eat fish, they eat tuna, krill, okay, so such kind of fishes are available here. That's why protection has been provided here. Now near the Weddell Sea, okay, this region, here you have Larsen ice shelves. Larsen ice shelf. So you have this Larsen A, B and C. So from this region, the ice shelves, they are breaking, they are falling into the sea, so thereby increasing the threat to the global warming. मैंने बताया था Wilkes Land. So this is where the Wilkes Land is. So this is where the magnetic field, okay, the magnetic pole of the southern hemisphere is located at the Wilkes Land. And almost in the middle you have Vostok. Vostok is a research station. It's a research station of Russia. And below the Vostok, deep inside, you have a glacial lake, subglacial lake. Means ice sheet के नीचे जो lake होता है, it's called as the subglacial lake. Okay. So other than these, not many locations are important here. इतना locations का ध्यान रखना है. Okay, this is the Ron ice shelf. This is the A67 iceberg. It is located near Weddell Sea. ये भी ध्यान रखना. Near Weddell Sea, A67 iceberg. They can ask a question. A67 recently in the news is associated with which of the following? A, it is a new virus variant which has been released by China over the world. B, it is a anti-aircraft missile recently used in Ukraine against Russia. ऐसे दे सकता है. Option C is the ice shelf which is breaking in Antarctica. D, none of the above. सी जनरली ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में ना फर्स्ट टू ऑप्शंस आर वेरी टेम्पटिंग. एक ट्रिक है फर्स्ट टू ऑप्शंस पे मत जाना. अगर कुछ आउट ऑफ द ब्लू ऐसा कुछ पूछता है जिसमें कोई लॉजिक नहीं लग सकता, विच इज कंप्लीटली फैक्चुअली बेस्ड, देन फर्स्ट टू ऑप्शंस आर देयर टू ट्रैप यू. वहाँ पे ध्यान रखना, वहाँ पे फंसना मत. ओके उसमें सी या डी पे जाना. अंडरस्टूड? तो यहां पे लार्सन सी है. दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज ओके विल्किंस. तो लार्सन एक नाम याद रखना यहां पे. तो यहां पे आई शेल्फ का ब्रेकिंग हो रहा है एंड रॉस सी के बाद भी आई शेल्फ का ब्रेकिंग हो रहा है. सो दिस आर द रीजन्स वेयर द आई शेल्फ्स आर ब्रेकिंग. दीज टू आर इंपॉर्टेंट, लार्सन एंड रॉस. अदर्स यू फॉरगेट, नो प्रॉब्लम. So Larsen is mostly in the news. A timeline also have been given when these are breaking. Like first break कहाँ पे हुआ? 2010 में हुआ, उसके बाद 17 में हुआ, उसके बाद जुलाई में हुआ. Okay, this is how. And you have to remember Larsen. You have to remember Weddell Sea. And near Weddell Sea, above this Weddell Sea in Antarctica, you have South America. ये ध्यान रखना, अटलस में मार्क कर लेना. So regarding Antarctica, it's the world's fifth largest, southernmost, and the driest, windiest, coldest, and iciest continent. Okay, these are all the features of Antarctica. Only just 2% of this continent is free of ice. Now, sometimes they'll be giving you a statement. The Antarctica does not have any plant life at all. भाई आप लोगों ने पूरा अंटार्कटिका देखा है क्या? नहीं ना. So if they are giving this such kind of extreme statement, just deny it. On the fringes, you can have mosses, you can have lichens, though they can be seasonal in nature. You can have some kind of tundra vegetation here in Antarctica. Okay. It holds 90% of the Earth's total ice volume and 70% of its fresh water. This is also important. Okay. So इंडिया का रिसर्च स्टेशन है मैत्री एंड भारती. ये याद रखना लार्सेमन हिल्स में है. सो भारती वॉज एर्लियर कॉल्ड एज दक्षिण गंगोत्री. सो दिस इज अबाउट अंटार्कटिका. एंड रिसेंटली वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट So SK is asking, एक सेशन रखो जिसमें MCQ सेशन हो, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन से विच क्वेश्चन ऑप्शन ट्रैप. सिर्फ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस में क्या डिस्कस करूँगा वो तो हर जगह आपको यूट्यूब में इंटरनेट में मिल जाएगा. हाउ टू एलिमिनेट दोज थिंग्स. आई एम गुड एट गिविंग ऑप्शंस विच कैन कम इन द फ्यूचर. मैं ऐसे ऑप्शंस क्रिएट करता हूँ कि आप फंस ही जाओगे. सो उसके लिए एक सेशन रख सकते हैं. वी कैन डू दैट. ओके, you guys can request KSG to hold that session. Yes, of course, penguins are found in Antarctica, of course, fine. Penguin, okay. ये तो like बहुत ही क्लीशे है. Penguins Antarctica में होते हैं. मगर मुझे when I was a kid ना, my dad used to ask me, ये बताओ polar bear penguin को क्यों नहीं खाता है. Okay, then of course I'm unable to tell that. My father used to say, a polar bear is present in Arctic and penguin is present in Antarctic. That's why it can't eat it. Okay. Fine. So recently, extreme weather events have been increasing. So what are these extreme weather events? So some of the examples are extreme weather events. For example, flooding in China is an extreme weather event. Drought in Europe, this is happening this year, extreme weather event. Bushfires in Australia, again extreme weather event. India में heat waves. Okay, last year there were so many heat waves. Again, this is extreme weather events. And cyclone, yes, and cyclone Taukte. Cyclone Taukte is also super cyclone. Means that when the wind speeds are increasing 220 km per hour, that is called as a super cyclone. So this, okay, and see, regarding cyclones now, earlier only like when I was preparing for UPSC at that time, there used to be one cyclone per year. Now if you see last 2-3 years, on an average there are 5 cyclones every year. So the frequency of the cyclones are increasing, and also the intensity of the cyclones is also increasing. ये दोनों ही बढ़ रहे हैं. So these are the examples of extreme weather events. And because of the heavy rainfall, if you're having a lot of landslides, like if you open the newspaper in the month of June, July, you'll see a lot of reports of landslides. आप न्यूज़ देखते हो, उसके बाद again you'll do the same construction in the hills. So there's a famous saying, before and after a disaster, nothing changes in India. So Pakistan में floods आया अभी recently, right? And of course heat waves also have come. And USA में हमेशा फॉरेस्ट फायर्स तो आते रहते हैं, कैलिफोर्निया में. I told you the reason why. My voice is low. अच्छा, is my voice low or is it fine? My students have been messaging me. Yeah. Fine ना भाई, हमें चेक करो एक बार आपका वॉइस सही है नहीं कि नहीं. ब्रेक में मोमेंटम ब्रेक कर देते हो. ओके, दिस आर सम ऑफ द एक्सट्रीम वेदर इवेंट्स. पिक्चर भी आपके पास. ओके, एक्सट्रीम ड्रॉट है, साइक्लोन्स हो रहे हैं, फॉरेस्ट फायर्स हो रहा है, टॉर्नाडोस आ रहे हैं. I'll tell you what is this tornado. So tornado generally happens in the Mississippi plains of USA during hot sunny afternoons. So tornado का जो साइज होता है ना, few hundreds of meters. साइक्लोन का जो साइज होता है 150 to 600 kilometers. Tornado is dry, cyclone is wet. Now the energy for the cyclone you'll be getting from latent heat of condensation. That's why you should be having continuous supply of moisture. Whereas for tornadoes, पता नहीं एनर्जी, इतना एनर्जी कहाँ से मिलता है इसको. Because you can't study the tornadoes. Tornadoes are also called as twisters. इसमें wind speed 700-800 किलोमीटर चला जाता है, 700 to 800 kilometers. If you want to study such kind of systems, you need to track them. You need to study the temperature changes and moisture changes. आप पढ़ ही नहीं पाओगे इसको. Because if you're keeping any equipment, for example, if you want to study this tornado, you're going with a plane inside. भाई 700 किलोमीटर पर आवर विंड स्पीड ब्लो हो रहा है, प्लेन उड़ जाएगा. That's why not exactly, we don't know exactly why this is happening, but it is very similar to cyclone, much small in size. छोटी बम बड़ी धमाका, मतलब छोटा है लेकिन बहुत डेंजरस है. Okay, understood? So these are the tornadoes. Now when these tornadoes, so this is the land and this is the ocean, this is the ocean. Now these tornadoes are developed over the land like this. Now when these tornadoes are moving over the oceans or the seas, so there will also be tornadoes, but these tornadoes are on the water and these are called as water spouts. You can see this. I'll show you the picture. Water. So these are called as water. Okay. So these are the tornadoes. which are on the surface of the water. These are called as water spouts. Okay. So Nandini is asking, okay, Nandini Maheshwari from Jaipur, no. Okay, Nandini is asking, what is the reason for the name Kaveri for Kaveri mission from Sudan excavation? See, वहाँ पे फंसे लोग, South Indians are there, and Kaveri is one of the major rivers of South India. इसलिए नाम दिया Kaveri mission. Okay. And recently Karnataka, the people of Karnataka, that is किसने डिमांड किया था? Opposition leader, I guess, okay, Mallikarjuna Kharge, I guess, I don't know. So they have requested the EAM, External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, to bring back the Indian citizens from Sudan. The Mr. Jaishankar has told that don't play politics over this. Something of this sort has happened. So these are called as water spouts. What is okay? So next is the Nord Stream. So I will discuss about this region. इस region में क्या क्या important है? I'll take the map and discuss. Baltic region. So Baltic and the Black Sea, both I will discuss now. See, Baltic region में the first question which they can ask, which of the following countries surround Baltic? Because Baltic has become geopolitical hotbed. Because on this side you have NATO. इस तरफ क्या है? NATO है. यूक्रेन में नहीं है, NATO है. On this side, okay, starting from Belarus, so here you have CSTO. So CST is equivalent to NATO. So both are warring countries or warring groups. So earlier Ukraine was kept as a buffer. So Ukraine was kept as a buffer between these two, so that they should not fight with each other. लेकिन क्या हुआ? The USA started, okay, obliging, or it started attracting Ukraine, okay, to join NATO. So when this buffer is lost in between, then the CSTO, that is the Russia, will feel threatened. So that is the reason why. So Russia had to attack Ukraine. And the eastern part of the Ukraine, if you look at Ukraine, the eastern part of the Ukraine, this eastern part, this has Russian ethnic and Russian speaking population. So it is very easy for the Russia to build a positive opinion among these people, because they are Russian ethnic and Russian speaking population. So regarding this thing, Euro Maidan movement is very important. So till 2013, so the president, who was president of Ukraine, was pro-Russia. After that, this guy who was a stand-up comedian, Zelensky, has come into power. So Zelensky, is pro-NATO, he is pro-West. When Zelensky is saying that now we will be joining West, we will be joining NATO, then obviously here the Russian speaking population will not be that happy. So that is when, okay, this movement has risen here, the movement for separation. So in this regard, two regions here are important, Donetsk and Lugansk. Donetsk and Lugansk, क्या atlas में मिल जाएगा आपको. So these two regions are important, and these two regions are practically independent, and these are also part of the post-Soviet conflicts from a long time. And from the 2014 itself, these have become independent. And this is the Sevastopol, this is Crimea. So Crimea was also annexed by Russia in the year 2014. So annexation had happened because here in Crimea you have Sevastopol. The Sevastopol is the naval base of Russia and Crimea. If Ukraine joins NATO, then the naval base of Russia will be lost. That's why Putin, okay, that is Russia, it has felt the need to annex Crimea because it will be losing its important base. And some cities are very important. Odessa is an important city here. Odessa is an important port also. So recently when the war was happening, because Ukraine has a lot of grasslands, so Ukraine was supposed to supply, it's an important supplier of sunflower oil, important supplier of fodder, important supplier of wheat, oats, barley. So world over, the prices were increasing. So because of which, okay, the countries have requested Russia and Ukraine to go for a ceasefire, and for a while, okay, the ceasefire was announced, and from Odessa, okay, it's a port, okay, from here the agricultural supplies were made. That's why it is important. And I was just discussing about, okay, post-Soviet conflicts. So among these post-Soviet conflicts, within Moldova you have a region called as Transnistria. So it is also kind of autonomous region. It's a separate region. Like you have discussed the Ajdara, okay, South Ossetia, Nagorno-Karabakh, like that. Here also you have a region called as Transnistria. Now coming to Black Sea. In Black Sea you have important rivers flowing. This is Danube. Danube is an important river of Black Sea. It is flowing from Germany, Austria, Hungary, Serbia, Romania. And then you have, okay, Dnieper, Don and Donetsk and Don. So these are the important rivers. And in the eastern part of the Ukraine, where you have Russian ethnic population, Russian speaking population, which has been separated long back in 2014, here you have Donbas coal. This region is also rich in coal. The capital Kiev is located along Dnieper river, and on the Belarusian border you also have Chernobyl. So important locations which you have to remember here is Odessa, Mariupol, Donetsk, Lugansk, Donbas, and these four rivers. So here you have Sea of Azov. This is Sea of Azov. The Sea of Azov and Black Sea, they are separated by the Strait of Kerch. The Strait of Kerch separates the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. So I don't think more than these locations they will ask anything. Now this year I'm expecting this question. This might be asked. What is Montreux Convention? Not Montreux Records. Montreux Records is part of your list which comes in the Ramsar. बट यहाँ पे है मॉन्ट्रेक्स कन्वेंशन. सी मॉन्ट्रेक्स कन्वेंशन इज अबाउट द स्ट्रेट्स ऑफ द टर्की. These are also called as the Turkish Straits, called as Turkish Straits, and these straits are the Straits of Bosphorus and the Straits of Dardanelles. So Strait of Bosphorus, it separates Europe with Asia. It also separates Black Sea with Sea of Marmara. And Strait of Dardanelles separates Sea of Marmara with Aegean Sea. So according to Montreux Convention, Turkey has been given some special powers to control these two straits, and they'll be restricting the powers of the Black Sea naval powers. Black Sea nations है तो उसका powers को restrict करेगा. Now अभी Black Sea powers में कौन आएगा? So here you have Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova is landlocked, Ukraine, Russia, Georgia. See, Bulgaria, Romania, anyways they are pro-NATO, and Turkey is also NATO, so it will not be against that. And Ukraine is showing a lot of interest to join NATO. And Georgia, like it's kind of insignificant here. Basically, this was against Russia. So it is to control Russia. Now, if you look at the motto or the aim of this Montreux Convention, it is opposite to the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. United Nations Convention on Law of Seas, okay, advocates for freedom of navigation. Means आपके पास अगर छोटी सी भी waterway है, then आप freedom of navigation को restrict नहीं कर सकते हो. So वो freedom of navigation की तरफ move करता है. Whereas the Montreux Convention is moving towards restriction. It has given some special powers to Turkey to control these waters. Okay, and Montreux Convention predates UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. ये ध्यान रखना. Okay, and more about this, you'll reading in okay international relations और कहीं से पढ़ लेना. Okay, geography में तो location important है. मैं थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ पे कहानी बता दिया. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, Black Sea Grain Initiative. Okay. See, all these are part of your international relations. So here I'll be focusing on the location part only. I can't discuss everything. So economic geography and agriculture. See, again this Baltic, see which all countries are surrounding the Baltic Sea. Okay. So Sweden, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. Also you have Russia here. So Russia का जो province है along the Baltic, this is called as Kaliningrad. This is called as Kaliningrad. So Kaliningrad, on the coast of the Kaliningrad, you have a sandbar. You have a sandbar called as Vistula Spit. Vistula Spit. So this Vistula Spit is restricting the movement of the Russians from this part. So recently what Russia has done, Russia has created a split. Russia has created a extra sea route by cutting this Vistula Spit. Now they might also ask you, how many NATO countries have a border with Russia? Norway, 3 Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. यहाँ पे 3 हो गए. Okay, and Poland, because this is the province of Russia, the Poland is also surrounding. So earlier the Russia used to have very small boundary with the NATO countries, but recently Finland also joined Recently Finland has also joined, and now this very long border. Okay, Russia has a very long border with Finland. Why the length of the border is important? Because now the NATO countries, okay, with the help of Finland, they can place missiles here on the border. So that will okay threaten the security of the Russia. And moreover, here you have two gulfs. This is called as the Gulf of Finland, and this is called as Gulf of Riga. So Gulf of Riga is located between Estonia, Latvia. Finland is located between, okay, Gulf of Finland is located between Russia, Finland and Estonia, and this is called as Gulf of Bothnia. It's called as Gulf of Bothnia. Okay, from this Gulf of Finland, Nord Stream pipeline is coming. Nord Stream pipeline is coming. This Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2, these are two pipelines. So these two pipelines are supposed to supply gas to the entire Europe. Now look at the locations where you have this, okay, pipeline. So you have one location here called as Vyborg. Vyborg se aata hai. It also comes from Ust-Luga. You don't have to remember this, not required. And it will be entering into Germany at a location called as Greifswald. So recently what happened is that okay, this Nord Stream pipeline had an explosion. Somebody has placed some explosives here. So that's why a lot of leakage. So UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, also termed this leakage of methane gas due to the rupture of the Nord Stream. So this is the location from where the Nord Stream is moving. It is moving along the Baltic Sea. So the specifications are not required anyways, you can see it later, not required. So this is about the Nord Stream pipeline. And the suspected oil, the gas leak has taken place at a place called as Bornholm. Okay, Bornholm. It is located in the Baltic Sea. So this is where the suspected leak is taking place. Now, you have Kiel Canal also here, Kiel Canal. The Kiel Canal connects the Baltic Sea with the North Sea. Okay. And you have two locations here, Kattegat and Skagerrak. So if you have to go from the Baltic Sea into the North Sea, you have to cross Kattegat and Skagerrak. Okay, these are the water bodies which you have to cross. And North Sea is rich in oil, it is rich in petroleum, and this petroleum is also called as sweet crude because it has low sulfur content. It is low on sulfur. Okay, this is about the Nord Stream. So next we will be talking about the Meghalayan age, that is the geological time scale. Okay. Geological time scale. I'll tell you some of the events which have happened because recently UPSC has been asking questions from here. So 550 million years ago, this is called as Precambrian. After Precambrian, it is further divided into three: Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. And roughly the time period here is 250 million years. This is 65 million years, right? So Paleozoic is when the life is thriving in the oceans. So Paleozoic is also the time period during which the Carboniferous coal has been formed around 350 million years ago, and the Indian coal, a Permian coal, has been formed around 250 million years ago. And during the Mesozoic times, the earth was completely dominated by reptiles. It is the age of the dinosaurs. And in Cenozoic times, the mammals have evolved. So mammals have evolved during the Cenozoic times. So reptiles, this is life mostly restricted to sea. So depending upon the life, depending upon the composition of the atmosphere, the time periods will differ. Now coming to the Cenozoic period, Cenozoic is further divided into tertiary and quaternary. Tertiary and quaternary. And this is 2 million years. And this is 65 million years. Now quaternary time period is further divided into two. Okay. This is Pleistocene. During the Pleistocene you have Ice Age and you have this Holocene. Okay. During this time period you had Ice Age, and here this is around 11,200 years. Now this Holocene is further divided into three, in which the Meghalayan age, the current age which is going on, is called as the Meghalayan age. Now if you see this Meghalayan age, you have a lot of beautiful speleotherms. Remember this word, speleotherms. The speleotherms are associated with this karst topography. In karst topography, you have stalactites, stalagmites and pillars. Okay. So यहाँ पे cave है Maumul. Okay, this Maumul is located in Meghalaya. So it has been declared as a geological site. Means geology is the study of the earth. So to study the earth and its interiors, and to study the time periods of the earth, this study of this cave is very important. So that's why it has been declared as important site. So I can't even pronounce this, is also known as Krem. It's the fourth longest cave in Indian subcontinent with a total length of 7 kilometers. Okay, it is located in Sohra, near Chirapunji in the East Khasi Hills. So it is at a height of 4503 meters, and it belongs to the Meghalayan age. This term is very important. Speleotherms are very important. These are associated with the karst topography. So there is a deep pool inside the cave which is formed by 5 different rivers that pass through. Now this Holocene is further divided into Greenlandian, North Grippian and Meghalayan. The presently, the time period, the age which is going on is called as Meghalayan. So from this 11,200 years or 700 years, from there to 8,200 years, this is called as Greenlandian. From 8,200 years to 4,200 years, this is called as North Grippian, and the present age is called as Meghalayan. But now there is a request or there is a demand to add one more age, one more time period, that is called as Anthropocene. So Holocene is further divided into 3. So starting from 1850 or Industrial Revolution, because since from the Industrial Revolution a lot of changes have taken place, such as very huge scale of deforestation, The carbon dioxide levels have increased from 285 ppm to 450 ppm. Sea level has increased. Rate of sedimentation has increased. Acidification of oceans has been increased. So the landscape of the earth has been changed, and this has been done by humans. That's why there is a demand to add a new age called as Anthropocene. So here two things are important. One is Anthropocene, other is Meghalayan, and the name of the cave is important, and also the word speleotherm is important. Okay. Now this Meghalayan age also marks, if around 4200 years ago, it also marks the collapse of important civilizations. So there used to be civilization in the Greece, Egypt, Syria, Philistine, Mesopotamia, Indus Valley and Yangtze Valley. So these were the ancient civilizations. So these ancient civilizations also have collapsed because during this time there were hard times, there were severe droughts. So because of these droughts, okay, these civilizations have collapsed. Understood? Okay. Now I was talking about the Tonga Islands. I talked about the Tonga Kermadec Trench. Now they can ask you this term Honga, Tonga and Honga Haipai. ये क्या है? So this Honga Haipai, so it is the new island which has been created because of volcanic eruptions. ये नाम लिख लो आप. So this is the name of the island. So this has been created because of the subduction. So this is how the Tonga eruption has taken place. So the volcanic eruptions was so intense that it has led to a huge explosion. Okay, no problem. If you are running little bit late, no problem. Slowly लिख लेना सारी चीजें. So this is that island. So from here the smoke is being released. Is a new island which is created. देखो वहाँ पे. So recently release हुआ है. यहाँ पे rocks है, बहुत सारा ash है. अभी तक यहाँ पे कोई plant life चालू नहीं हुआ है. So it is the indication that it's a new island. Okay. So gradually, okay, यहाँ पे जब water आएगा, then gradually यहाँ पे plants grown होना भी चालू हो जाएगा. Thank you. Now one more location in India called as Yayaso. So this is again a lake. It is located in Ladakh. So it becomes the Ladakh's first biodiversity heritage site. So this is located at a height of 4820 meters. It's also known as the paradise of the birds. It's also the breeding site of black-necked crane. So पूरा information यहाँ पे है. Okay. So Aditi is asking, please outline the topics which are to be covered in the session briefly. Names. Okay. So basically, you know, I'm all discussing the current affairs which have happened in last 1 year, which I consider as most important. वो चीज़ें cover करूँगा अभी. I can't outline all of this. उसके बाद अगर time बचेगा, then I will discuss some traditional part also. So let me finish off this first. I think my energy levels are going down now. I guess we have discussed this set. Plastio-margates. We have discussed this. This is nothing but the plastic rocks. It is okay, very similar to the word conglomerates. You have seen this. Turtles. This is a green turtle. So green turtle का conservation site है on that island. of the coast of Brazil. So this is the island. So Trindade and Martim-Vaz. So there's Brazilians now, they speak Portuguese, so you'll find a lot of Portuguese words in Brazil. Yes, I'll have tea. इतना लंबा कभी क्लास नहीं लिया मैंने. Again, we have discussed this South Atlantic anomaly. I like this meme though. झुकेगा नहीं लेकिन झुक गया. So that's why you have this anomaly. Okay, Van Allen radiation zone belts. So go through this also. So we can call it as a dent in the magnetic field of the earth. So next is ocean thermal energy plant. So this is very interesting. I will discuss this. See, यहाँ पे news है that okay, India has established this ocean thermal energy plant. This is also called as OTEC plants for desalination purposes. Means ocean के ऊपर को जो पानी है उसमें जो वेपर होगा उसको कंडेंस करके वहाँ से एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे, पानी को एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे. दिस आर कॉल्ड एज desalination plants. So this is in the news. You'll get this anywhere. This information get anywhere. कहाँ पे establish किया, locations you get anywhere. But I'll tell you the science behind it. Because okay, so what I believe is that okay, facts तो आपको कहीं पे भी मिल जाएगा. The most important thing is the understanding. And आपको अगर understanding होगा, you'll become really आत्मनिर्भर. You'll become self-dependent. Then you'll be able to solve any question in the future. And moreover ना, या 20 या 30 क्वेश्चन में आपको what डायरेक्ट नॉलेज मिलती है. बाकी के 70 क्वेश्चंस जो होते हैं ना, उसमें आपका दिमाग अप्लाई करना पड़ता है. उसके लिए सिर्फ फैक्ट्स मत करो, उसके पीछे रीज़न नहीं सीखो ना, देन आप सॉल्व नहीं कर पाओगे. So I'm a person who strongly believe that okay, the concepts are more important than facts, because facts you get anywhere. So some people may not agree with me completely, but this session is for those people only who agree with me or agree in this concept. If you are taking the oceans now, so this is how the ocean basin looks like. Only the upper layer of the ocean, top layer of the ocean, okay, like top 200 meters are warm. See, whenever I use the word, use this color red, it means it is warm. I am specifically using this color for a particular reason. And the bottom layers, these are uniformly cold. And when there is a difference in the number of electrons, when there is a difference in the temperature, or when there is a difference in the concentration, high low का difference जब भी होता है, be it in terms of concentration, osmosis होती है, be in terms of electrons will flow, we call it current. It be in terms of heat, it is called as the heat transfer. Be in terms of salinity, these are called as thermohaline circulations. Because nature is a system, it works as a system. This is called as systems analysis. And one of the important features of the systems is homeostasis, balance. So a balance करने की कोशिश करेगा. That's why you will have water moving from the top to bottom and bottom to top. Now we are utilizing this energy difference. So this water, is at a temperature of around 25 degrees centigrade, and the bottom water means below 200 meters, the water is uniformly maintained at around 4 degrees centigrade. Now इतना degree centigrade का difference है. So this difference you can utilize. How? अभी 25 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड होगा, ऑब्वियसली वेपर निकलेगा यहां से, वेपर, okay, the vapor will be having this moisture. Now what is this desalination? What we'll be doing is that you will be running a pipe. इस पाइप में से ठंडा पानी आएगा एंड ये ठंडा पानी ना ऊपर सरफेस के ऊपर चलाएंगे. ओके, जब ये ठंडा पानी सरफेस के ऊपर चलाएंगे देन temperature will reduce in the surrounding air. The temperature reduces, the water holding capacity of the air will reduce and the water will undergo condensation. So here the water will undergo condensation, and because of the condensation na it will be converted into H2O, liquid में convert हो जाएगा. So you're using the difference in the temperature of the oceans. This is called as OTEC, and you are converting the vapor into liquid. Basically ocean water से आप salinity निकाल रहे हो. This is called as a desalination plant. So this has been established. So this is the science behind it. Okay. Thank you आरुषि. ओके, ये है इसका साइंस. ये देखो अभी. सो व्हाट इज OTEC? इट्स द सेम थिंग. यहाँ पे पंप होगा, इस पंप से क्या होगा, कंडेंसर आएगा, कंडेंसर आके फिर से इसको ठंडा करेगा, देन इट विल बी रनिंग. सो दैट इज हाउ दिस इज द फैक्ट. So NIOT has established low temperature thermal desalination plants on 6 Lakshadweep islands and 1 at Northern Chennai. These are the world's first desalination plants that will supply power to the plant as well as convert seawater into potable water. I explained you how the seawater is converted into potable water. So current desalination plants are powered by diesel generators. लेकिन यहाँ पे diesel generator की use करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. You just have to use the temperature difference between the two layers of the earth. So what is it? National Institute of Ocean Technology. So it is an autonomous society. It is under Ministry of Earth Sciences. So उसका aim क्या है? It will develop reliable technologies, okay, associated with EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone. Further information you can see. You can take the screenshot of this or you can read later. Okay. Now what is this onshore OTEC? You can have offshore OTEC. Offshore OTEC is present away from the land. It is established on a floating platform in the oceans. Onshore is present on the land. How will you do this? You will intake the cold water and from here the warm water will be coming. Basically, instead of doing the same job over the ocean surface, because floating plants are expensive in nature, they will undergo corrosion very easily. So instead of that, you can establish these plants on the land also, and these are called as onshore OTEC plants. Okay. Now what is this Indus Water Treaty? So according to Indus Water Treaty, so the western rivers, that is Indus, Chenab, Jhelum, has to be used by Pakistan, and the eastern rivers, that is Ravi, Bias, Satluj, should be used by India. So this is the Indus Water Treaty. अभी problem क्या है? The Pakistan is raising objections. It is raising the objections on the Kishan Ganga project. So it's also called as the Tulbul Navigational Project. And we have constructed a Ratley Dam on Chenab River. बस ये ध्यान रखना, Kishan Ganga, okay, is on Kishan Ganga River, and Ratley Dam is on the Chenab river, and Kishan Ganga is the tributary of the Jhelum river. Okay. And please look at the tributaries here. So, Sutlej and Bias, they are completely located in India. Okay. And the Doab between Sutlej and Bias is called as Bisht Doab. The Bisht Doab is completely located in India. And please, okay, look at the other Doabs also. This is Bisht Doab, you have Rechna Doab, you have Bari Doab, and you have Sindh Sagar. So, please, go through all this. Now, let us see, what ISRO has done. So, ISRO has created landslide atlas of India. So, if you open this, it will tell you which all parts of India, okay, are more prone to landslides and what are the reasons. Okay. So, according to this atlas, northeastern Himalayas, okay, are highly prone to landslides. So, next is northwestern Himalayas, uske baad western Ghats, and very less is eastern Ghats. Northeastern Himalayas, because northeastern Himalayas have a abrupt rise in the height. Height वहाँ पे suddenly rise होता है. They are extremely steep. So that's why they are more prone to landslides. Okay. उसके बाद आएगा Western Himalaya. So again, one more, India is among the top landslide prone countries. Okay. So India is among the top 4 countries with highest landslides risk. So what are the reasons which have been mentioned is rainfall variability pattern is identified as single biggest cause of the landslides in India, with the Himalayas and the Western Ghats remaining highly vulnerable. So rainfall variability से क्या होता है? So when there is no rainfall, the land will become very dry, land will become very friable, and the vegetative cover will be less when it is dry for a very long time. वहाँ पे घास नहीं उगेगा, plants नहीं होंगे. जब तक घास होगा, ओके, प्लांट्स होंगे, उसके रूट्स जो है ना वो सॉइल को पकड़ के रखते हैं. नाउ आपके पास रेनफॉल नहीं है 8-9 महीने तक एंड सडनली रेनफॉल आ रहा है, तो क्या होगा? सो सॉइल को कोई पकड़ ही नहीं रहा है, वहाँ पे रूट्स नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, प्लांट्स नहीं है, वेजिटेटिव कवर नहीं है. जब प्रोटेक्टिव वेजिटेटिव कवर नहीं होगा तो ऑब्वियसली लैंडस्लाइड्स विल हैपन. So that is explained as the reason, rainfall variability. So 12.6% of the country's geographical area is affected by landslides. So again, districts which are exposed to maximum landslides. Arunachal में 16 districts है highest, then Kerala में 14 है, then Uttarakhand, okay, then you have Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the atlas, this is a map which has been provided. So this is, okay, northeastern, this is northwestern, then you have Western Ghats also. So Joshimet में जो slide हुआ, okay, so there has been subsidence of the land. So because the Himalayas, okay, are made up of sedimentary rocks of marine origin, okay, so the soil is not so very strong. So जब भी ऐसे land subsidence होता है, it generally because of the removal of the water. When you are removing underground water, so when the aquifers में जो पानी निकाला जाता है, तो sedimentary rocks है ना बहुत weak हो जाते हैं, और यू आर एक्सट्रैक्टिंग ऑयल और नेचुरल गैस, कुछ भी अंदर से निकाल रहे हो, जितने भी पोर्स है उसमें से पूरा आप एकदम चूस रहे हो सब कुछ. सो बीच में खाली आ जाता है, पोरस हो जाता है वो. सो रॉक क्या होता है, कोलैप्स हो जाता है. सो फ्रैकिंग इज अ मेथड बाय विच यू एक्सट्रैक्ट द शेल और माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज. ओके, जनरली सच काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, ओके, विल बी लीडिंग टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द, okay, land subsidence. Okay, so Joshimath, it sits on the fault line called as Vaikrita Trust. So यहाँ पे fault line है, नाम याद रखना. It is also close to Main Central Trust and Padukeshwar Trust. So Main Central Trust, okay, it is located between the Great Himalayas and Middle Himalayas. So वो भी यहाँ पे पास में है. It's also the fault line. So this is the reason why, okay, the Joshimath is highly vulnerable. Okay, and thus further the city has been built on the ancient landslide material. ऑलरेडी लैंडस्लाइड होकर नीचे मटेरियल आया, उसके ऊपर सिटी बिल्ड किया. तो बेसिकली वो सैंड के ऊपर, स्टोन के ऊपर, डेब्रिस के ऊपर है पूरा सिटी. ऊपर से जितना भी डेब्री गिरा उसके ऊपर है. सो ऑब्वियसली it will not have much of the load bearing capacity, and there is lot of unplanned construction also in this region because the tourism has been increasing, the people are being increasing, the people want to go and settle in the hills. ओके, जब भी कोई वेकेशन मिलता है हिल्स कॉलिंग बोल के इंस्टाग्राम के फोटो डाल के चले जाते हैं. ओके, सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस अनप्लान्ड construction, it has led to the blocking of the natural flow of the water, and the drainage is also improper, and the climate change is also acting as the fourth force multiplier. Okay, so IPCC reports have critically observed that Himalayan region is very prone to disasters. And along with this, you also have the hydroelectric power projects. So Tapovan, Vishnugad, okay, these projects also have been blamed. Though there are run of the river projects, but still they have been blamed. They are also reason. ये भी ध्यान रखना, Tapovan, Vishnugad. Okay, these are located on Dholi Ganga. Okay, you can look at the barrages here. So this is where the Joshimath is. This is Alaknanda river. Okay, so this is the Dholi Ganga river. Okay, so Dholi Ganga river will gradually flow into Alaknanda, and this is where the Tapovan is located. And Border Road Organization is also building Helang Marwari bypass road. So it is construction from Helang to Joshimath to Marwari to reduce the distance to Badrinath. Basically, a lot of construction is taking place here. So you can look at the locations here. So this is where the Joshimath is. So this is Helang and this is Auli Joshimath. So this road is also being built. And here you have Tapovan Vishnugad Hydel Pole project. ध्यान रखना कौन से रिवर पे है ये, धौली गंगा रिवर पे है. And the government of India is also building the Char Dham project. So Char Dham is an ambitious project to connect Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. These are also called as Char Dham. So Char Dham railway and tunnel project. So इसको railway से connect करने का and tunnel से भी connect करने का ambitious project है. So this 125 kilometer Rishikesh Karnaprayag railway line is in Uttarakhand. So you need to build a lot of tunnels, okay, and it will also require a lot of blastings, a lot of bridges also need to be built. So ये ध्यान रखना, what is this, Char Dham project, rail connectivity to Char Dham project. Now coming to Andaman and Nicobar group of islands, I will discuss some things regarding this Andaman and Nicobar, very important. But this last 1 hour, okay, I'm feeling like it's a long time. See, I'll not be discussing those cliche points here. I'll discuss the most important points. So 10-degree channel, it separates Andaman group of islands and Nicobar group of islands. So recently, India has built INS Diglipur here. INS Diglipur. It is a naval base of India because it is overlooking Andaman Sea and Strait of Malacca. Because China के ships यहाँ से जाते रहते हैं. That's why in order to keep an eye on these locations, we have built this INS Diglipur. And of course, I am very much sure you guys know about the name changes here. Name changes of the Neil Island, Havelock Island or Ross Island. आपको पता ही है. One thing which I want to discuss is about the Great Nicobar. In that context, I'll also discuss about the tribes of this region. So, the important tribes here in Andaman group of islands, you have 4 important tribes: Onge, Sentinelese, Jarawa and Andamanis. Sentinelese tribe is the untouched tribe. Now here in Nicobar group of islands, you have 2 tribes. You have Shompen tribe and you have Nicobaris tribe. This is very important this year. Now these tribes, they belong to Negrito group. Negrito. And these tribes, they belong to Mongoloid group. Mongoloid, because these people have come from here and these people have come from mainland India. So they have come in around 60,000 years ago. So 60,000 years ago, India was all, okay, the inhabitants of India, the people of India, all were Negritos. Okay. So इसका screenshot ले लो. यहाँ पे important points है सारे, आप देख सकते हो. Okay. Now, the government of India is coming up with Great Nicobar Development Plan. Now, this Great Nicobar, the island is located here. So, it's actually a biosphere reserve. It has 2 national parks, Galatia National Park and Campbell Bay National Park. Galatia and Campbell Bay. So, government of India is constructing, coming up with so many projects over here. So, that you will see. But as a geographer, as an environmentalist, since it is my subject, I will be talking about some of the important features, some of the important rivers and the tribes. So, tribes will be losing their homes here. The rivers will be destroyed. So, which all rivers can be destroyed? So, you have 3 important rivers. Okay. Amrit Kaur River, Amrit Kaur, Alexandria River, and you have Galatia River. So these 3 rivers can be lost because जब तक forest है, जब तक बारिश होगा, rivers होंगे. Once you are destroying this forest for palm oil cultivation, for building of homes, for tourists, etc., then this will be lost. And Mount Thullier is the highest peak of the Great Nicobar. So these are some of the features which can be asked. And it's also the southernmost biosphere reserve of India. And these 2 are the national parks. They must have done this in environment also, but okay, I'm emphasizing again. Okay. So, what the government of India is planning? It is planning a township here. It's also planning international container transshipment terminal. पता नहीं ये ports किसको मिलेगा. It's also planning an airport. पता नहीं ये airport किसको मिलेगा. Okay, this total area will be township. Okay, and only some parts will be left for the nature. Okay. So here you have some of the important species. So 3 new wildlife sanctuaries have been identified in Little Nicobar for protecting leatherback turtles. Okay, Little Nicobar is important because leatherback turtle का protection के लिए है. Mainchel Island, okay, has been dedicated for megapods, and Morio Islands for corals. So entire Galatea Bay Wildlife Sanctuary is denotified by Standing Committee of National Board of Wildlife. National Board of Wildlife is supposed to protect the wildlife, but it has denotified. Actually, Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve, it is rich in equatorial forest, it is rich in evergreen forest, and it is one of the few locations except the Western Ghats. Western Ghats में भी थोड़ा बहुत कुछ जगहों पर equatorial forest है, and यहाँ पे भी है. So we have very limited area of equatorial forest, and that area is going to be destroyed. So it's also the nesting site for giant leatherback turtles, and यहाँ पे इस islands में you have this big crocodiles. This is this salt water crocodile. It is very large in size. So India में 3 types of crocodiles है. You have घड़ियाल okay, जो गंगा river systems में मिलता है, and you have mugger crocodile, freshwater crocodile, and this is the salt water crocodile. Okay, so ये मिलता है यहाँ पे, इसका nesting sites है यहाँ पे. So this is the Shompen tribe. The Shompen tribe, they have Mongoloid traits because they come from Indonesia. So these are the Jarawa tribe. So Jarawa tribes, they still have primitive lifestyle. So Jarawa, Onge, Sentinelese, Andamaris, Shompen, इनका पॉपुलेशन है ना, इट रेंजेस समवेयर बिटवीन 50 to 400 इंडिविजुअल्स. इससे ज़्यादा इनकी पॉपुलेशन नहीं है, एंड दैट पॉपुलेशन ऑल्सो हैज़ बिन डिक्रीजिंग. दे आर स्टिल इनटू हंटिंग एंड गैदरिंग. दे आर कॉल्ड एज PVTGs, पर्टिकुलरली वनरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप्स है. सो व्हाट इज टू हैपन इज दैट earlier, so this Jarawa tribes ना, so earlier, okay, National Highway 4, okay, it is to pass from South Andaman, and in this South Andaman island, Jarawa tribes used to be there. Then the so-called civilized people, they used to take photographs and videographs of these people, and a lot of diseases also have been spread to the Jarawa tribe. That's why part of this South Andaman has been declared as Jarawa Reserve. Like you have reserve for the tigers, wild animals, you also have a dedicated reserve for these tribes. So National Highway 4 important here, Jarawa tribe, and the island is South Andaman. So this is a giant leatherback turtle. इतने बड़े turtles होते हैं, इसका nesting ground है. The ports, airports, I don't know why we are building townships there. So next important is this. So your Park Bay, Gulf of Mannar, and this is the Park Strait. ध्यान रखना. Gulf of Mannar is also the Marine Biosphere Reserve, is the only Marine Biosphere Reserve of India. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Himanshu. Jaji SK. So इसमें क्या important locations ये देख लेते हैं. See, Ram Setu Bridge, also called as Adams Bridge, important. So it is connecting the Pamban Island with the Mannar Island. ये दोनों को कनेक्ट करेगा, एंड दोनों के बीच में फेरी भी चलती है. मन्नार आइलैंड ना, इट्स लोकेटेड इन श्रीलंका, दिस इज लोकेटेड इन इंडिया. लोकेशंस देख लेना, यहाँ पे रामेश्वरम भी है, आपने देखा होगा समंदर के ऊपर ब्रिज है, वहाँ से रेलगाड़ी चलती है और रामेश्वरम तक चलती है. And this end location is called as Dhanushkoti. So please remember all these locations. Now there is a proposal, okay, to build a canal here. Now if you are building a canal in this region, then the Ram Setu, also called as Adam's Bridge, that has to be dig. Because right now you have to make a roundabout of Sri Lanka. श्रीलंका से घूम के जाना पड़ेगा. अगर इसको बीच में से काटते हो, then shortcut बना सकते हो आप. So this will also help, okay, in the coastal navigation of India. The problem is the Gulf of Mannar is a marine biosphere reserve. So the container traffic will disturb the Gulf of Mannar biosphere reserve, first point. Okay, so the biodiversity, it will be affected. And secondly, the okay, religious sentiments will also be hurt because Adam's Bridge will be broken. Now look at this, it's a very beautiful island. This is called as Munrio Island. It is located at the confluence of Ashtamudi Lake and Kallada River. Okay. So island has been subsiding, the island is sinking because of the construction of, okay, Tenmala Dam under Kallada irrigation project. इसका लोकेशन मैं दिखाता हूँ. Monrio Islands. It is located in Kerala. So कोल्लम के पास दिखेगा आपको. So it is near कोल्लम. Okay, बाद में आप देख लेना. So note down all these names. Next, dark sky reserve. So dark sky reserve is such location where the light pollution is very less. The first location is Hanle. Hanle is located in Ladakh, and second location which has been identified is Tala Kaveri. The Tala Kaveri is also the location where the Kaveri river starts. So these two lakes, Lake Victoria and Lake Chad, are undergoing degradation. Okay, we have discussed this earlier. Now this is a thermohaline circulation. These are also called as deep sea currents, and these are also called as the Atlantic meridional circulation. It's also called as AMOC. This is also called as AMOC in this part, in the Atlantic Ocean part. So recently there has been a news regarding the slowing down of AMOC. Now what will happen when this AMOC slows down? So firstly, I want to show you a graphical design, okay, how this AMOC works, how this thermohaline circulations work. So if you open the NASA website, so NASA website, okay, you have a very beautiful graphical representation of this thermohaline circulations. I don't know, it's not working. Developing country problems. First I'll explain you how it works, then I'll show you the video. Till then it will keep scrolling also. See, firstly what happens is that, so because of the Gulf Stream, this is the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream will be bringing warm saline waters. It will be bringing warm saline waters into the region, and this warm saline waters being heavy, they will sink. So they will start sinking in the northern part of the Atlantic, and also due to the formation of the ice in Iceland, Greenland, in the Arctic, the brine solution is ejected back. जब ऊपर आइस फॉर्म होगा सरफेस के ऊपर, नीचे ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन नीचे आएगा, and this will be creating a water mass. ध्यान रखना, it is called as water mass. Like air masses you must have heard, this is the water mass. So water mass will be having a particular temperature and salinity. These are called as T and S diagrams. If you are drawing a graph of this, so it will look somewhat like this. These are the T and S diagrams, and this will be making up water masses. So water masses can be identified like the air masses are identified. So whenever the water masses mix up, okay, they will be creating good fishing grounds. Like when the air masses mix up, they will be creating temperate cyclones. So when the water masses mix up, they will be creating good fishing grounds. So water mass, okay, is such an extent of the water which is deep inside the ocean, which is not disturbed by any temperature or salinity property. They have a consistency of temperature and salinity. Like in case of air masses, we talk about the properties of temperature and moisture. Here we talk about temperature and salinity in terms of ocean. These are called as water masses in short. So when the water will be sinking here in the northern part of Atlantic, so it will be creating Atlantic deep water mass. So this Atlantic deep water mass will be moving along MOAR. So along the MOAR it will start moving, it will move to the Antarctic, नीचे तक आएगा, and here because of the formation of the ice in the Antarctic deep water mass will be formed, and this Antarctic deep water mass along with Antarctic bottom water mass, Antarctic bottom water mass along with North Atlantic deep water mass, these will start moving towards the east. So they will start moving towards the east. It will bifurcate into two branches. So one of the branches will be upwelling in the Indian Ocean. This is called as Wharton Basin, and the second branch will be upwelling in the northern part of the Pacific, and the cycle will complete back. Again, why the water mixing is taking place? Because it is a natural system. So when you have a natural system, it has to balance, because the surface waters are warm and the bottom waters are cold. So heat has to be balanced, and also the salinity has to be balanced. So that's why these are called as the thermo-Haaland circulations. This is also called as global conveyor belt. So this is warm shallow water current, and this is cold and salty deep current. Okay. So recently, okay, it has been observed that, see, earlier the Panama Isthmus was not there in the geological past, and there was a Central American Seaway. So when this gap was there, the waters of the Atlantic and the waters of the Pacific used to get mixed up. So the thermo-Haaland circulation used to take place between the Atlantic and Pacific also. But now Panama Isthmus has been built up. There's a land bridge which has been created. So it is blocking the mixing of the Atlantic waters and Pacific waters. So समुद्रयान मिशन, okay, it is India's deep sea mission. तो इसमें क्या याद रखना है आपको? मत्स्य 6000. So Matsya 6000, it's a kind of a submarine, okay, it's a machine which will, okay, sustain the underground water pressure, and it will be able to go deep inside the water. So that is what you have to remember. So operation endurance 12 घंटे के लिए काम करेगा. So emergency life support is given for 96 hours. So the other countries which have such kind of capability are USA, France, Japan, Russia, China and Australia. Okay. So estimated cost of this mission is around 4,000 crore. So this is India's manned ocean mission. So it will be sending, okay, 3 self-propelled manned submersible vehicles. 3 को भेजेंगे for exploration of the underground water. तो बाकी information तो बता दिया मैंने, वो देख लेना. So some of the facts are located here. Coastline is 7,506. Okay, coastal states. Okay, 9 out of 28 states are coastal states. Islands 1382 है. Ports 200 plus है. Okay, 13 major ports है. India has a EEZ of 2 million kilometer square. And cargo handled by ports. Okay, it is around. Again, look at the information. So this is all cliche. So what is the blue economic policy? ये भी देख लेना एक बार. See, this policy belongs to Ministry of Earth Sciences. So it will go for the optimal utilization of all the sector in the maritime domain, living, non-living, tourism, ocean energy, everything. So this is called as blue economic policy, Ministry of Earth Sciences. Basically, it is associated with everything related to the oceans. जैसे resources है, tourism है, ocean energy है, okay, ocean governance के लिए, okay, fisheries के लिए, emerging industries के लिए. So almost सब कुछ ही आता है. It's a kind of umbrella policy. So please go through this and look at who are the relevant stakeholders. Stakeholders में ministries आएंगे, departments आएंगे, parliament members आएंगे, NGOs आएंगे and industry representative. Basically, it has a multi-stakeholder approach. Okay. So regarding this, Swachh Sagar, Surakshit Sagar is being implemented. Okay. Please go through this. ये सब क्या है? You can get this information anywhere. I'll go to the other one. So new satellite to provide crucial data on Earth's surface water. So this is called as satellite water and SWOT topography. This is called as a SWOT satellite. So this is developed in collaboration with NASA and French Space Agency. So it will survey for the first time nearly all Earth's surface water, measuring high. It will also measure the heights of the oceans, lakes and rivers. Sometimes to confuse you, they will be saying that it will only measure the height of the oceans and seas, but not rivers and lakes. ऐसा देगा. Because lakes भी इसमें होना चाहिए. Because the lakes are shrinking very fast and their water level has been decreasing. So that's why you should include this also. So launch, who will be launching this? SpaceX Falcon 9 Elon Musk की rocket launch करेगा from California. So it will survey at least 90% of the globe twice every 21 days and its resolution will be much better. Okay, this is called as SWOT. Please take a note of this. So jointly developed by NASA, CNES, and also contribution is there from CSA, Canadian Space Agency and United Kingdom Space Agency. So regarding the Arctic, so some of the information is located here. It is given here regarding the Arctic. So extreme weather events have been increasing in Arctic, and near the Arctic, in the Arctic tundra, so the zombie fires are also observed. Zombie fires are the fires which you observe below the ice surface in the tundra region. So just above the permafrost, okay, below the layer of the ice. So these are observed. So sea thickness is decreasing here. The warming has been increasing. The ocean traffic is increasing, and Russia also has been sending a fleet of nuclear icebreakers into the Arctic region, and Russia is also building a new sea route through Arctic. It is also called as Arctic Sea Route, and along the Arctic these seas are very important. Kara Sea is important. It is located beside Nagoya Zelmia. Nagoya Zelmia is an island. So Nagoya Zelmia, this island, is the extension of the Urals in the ocean. You have Laptev Sea, Kara Sea, okay, and you have Chukchi Sea and Bering Sea. Sorry, Barents Sea, Kara Sea, Laptev Sea and Chukchi Sea. So these are the marginal seas of the Arctic, and Arctic has a very broad, a 1500 kilometer continental shelf. So because of this very broad continental shelf, the Arctic has a lot of resources. And please go through what is Arctic Council, who are the members of Arctic Council, okay, observers kaun hai. India is an observer here in the Arctic Circle. Okay, please go through what is this Arctic Circle. And Arctic has a lot of resource because of the broad continental shelf. In fact, अगर sea level ना 45 meters भी अगर drop हो जाता है, then this entire region will become as good as land. And Norway has an island here called as Svalbard Island. In this Svalbard Island, India's Arctic Research Center called as Himadri is located. Also, the Doomsday Seed Vault or International Seed Vault is also located. Means जितने भी seeds है, okay, across the world, the special varieties सब कुछ है यहाँ पे preserve किया गया. Okay, it is called as the Seed Vault. It is located on this island called as Svalbard. It belongs to Norway. Again, one more thing is which is in the news. So here you have Mahadevi River. It's also called as Mandovi River. So Goa में है Mandovi River. It's also called as Mahadevi River. One more important river of Goa is also called as Zuari River. Okay, we'll discuss about this Mandovi River. So Mandovi River, okay, has two tributaries here, and from these two tributaries of Mandovi River, the government is constructing dams. One is Kalasa Dam, okay, Haltara Dam and Bandura Dam. So from these dams, the water will be diverted to Malaprabha River, and Malaprabha River is the tributary of the Krishna River. So this you have to remember. So 2023 has been declared as International Year of Millets by Food and Agricultural Organization. And see what are the major types of millets here. तो जवार है, बजरा है, रागी है, कोट्टू है, ओके, रामदाना है, foxtail, porso, little millet. Look at the list here. These are the various types of millets. What are the benefits of millets? These are gluten free. They are rich in fiber content. They are rich in micronutrients. So they will increase your digestion. They will be releasing sugar very slowly in your body. So they are complex carbohydrates. They are good for the sugar patients, etc. These are all the benefits of the millets. Screenshot ले लो इसका. Okay, this is the millets map. Now, in short, I'll tell you important millets here. See, Rajasthan बोलते ही आपको याद रखना है बाजरा. Jawar is an important millet of Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Ragi, more than 70% of the ragi is produced in Karnataka, and second largest producer of ragi, surprisingly, it is Uttarakhand. ये चारों चीज़ अगर याद है आप बाकी सॉल्व कर पाओगे बाय एलिमिनेशन मेथड. यहाँ पे तो पूरा मैप दिया गया. ऑब्वियसली यू विल नॉट बी रिमेंबरिंग ऑल दिस. ये चीज़ें याद रखो तो आपका काम हो गया. Okay, look at the production also. So how much jawar is produced in 4.78 मिलियन टन्स का जवार प्रोड्यूस होता है. 10.86 मिलियन टन्स का बाजरा प्रोड्यूस होता है. So health benefits, anyways you have seen. Take a screenshot of this. And the millets production, you can see millets production has plateaued, and this is the rice and this is the wheat. So after the green revolution, the rice and the wheat, they started replacing the millets. So production decrease हो रहा है. Thank you, Swapna. So now it is down to 14 million hectares. Okay, now it has been reduced as a marginal fodder. So annual production is around 16 million tons now. So India produces 20% of the global production, that is led by Africa and Americas. So 1/5 of the production comes from India, and the total production is 16 million tons. Remember these figures. India is also exporting millets. Sometimes this is given. So India is not producing enough millets. The crop production has decreased. Okay, because of the high consumption locally, does not export. ऐसा statement देता है. ये wrong है. India also exports. So top 5 producing states are MP, Gujarat, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. So this is called as Fujiwara effect. So Fujiwara effect होने के लिए 2 साइक्लोन्स होना ज़रूरी है. दोनों पास पास होना है. मीन्स 1200 किलोमीटर्स के बियॉन्ड नहीं होना है. तो क्या होगा ग्रेजुअली, ये दोनों साइक्लोन्स जो है मिक्सअप होगा, एक दूसरे से भिड़ेगा, भिड़ के वो एक बन जाएंगे. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द फुजीवारा इफेक्ट. Okay, take a screenshot of this. Now drought. So drought, you can see the scenarios. So girl child and women are worst affected during a drought because the woman is responsible for cooking food and providing water at home. अब घर में जब जाते हो क्या बोलते हो, मम्मी पानी लेके आओ या डैडी पानी लेके आओ. बोलते हो मम्मी पानी लेके आओ, राइट. सो मदर इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल. दैट्स व्हाई दे वेस्ट ए लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन फेचिंग वाटर. एंड गर्ल चाइल्ड इज ऑल्सो कैरीड along with mother, so their education will also be affected. So water has got a gender angle also. The women are worst affected at the time of disasters. especially a disaster like drought. That's why I kept this picture. ये मेंस में आपको बहुत काम आएगा ऐसा चीज़ें लिखने के लिए. Now the different types of drought. Meteorological drought मतलब पानी नहीं आता है. Hydrological drought मतलब पानी नहीं होता है, से तालाब में, रिवर में पानी नहीं होता है. This is called as hydrological drought. Agricultural drought, enough moisture is not available for the crops. That is agricultural drought. Socio-economic drought, because of the social condition or because of the economic condition, you will not be getting sufficient water. For example, you are poor, economic condition is poor. आपके पास पैसा नहीं है बोरवेल के लिए, पानी तो है अंडरग्राउंड में, लेकिन आपके पास पैसा नहीं है बोरवेल के लिए, इसलिए आपके खेत को पानी नहीं मिलता. दैट इज इकोनॉमिक ड्रॉट. सोशल ड्रॉट is because of your caste, because of your say religion, you are not getting water supply. नहर तो जा रही है वहाँ से, कैनाल तो जा रहा है. सी इसका लॉजिक बताया मैंने. जहाँ पे सोडियम मिलता है मीन्स नमक NaCl टेबल सॉल्ट, ओके, पोटेशियम मिलता है, वहाँ पे लिथियम भी मिलता है. ये है फंडा पीरियोडिक टेबल का. कहाँ चले गए? ओके. एंड Himalayas are made up of what? The sediments of the Tethys Sea. The sea के sediments को उठाया. So when the sea sediments have been uplifted, obviously, okay, it will be having the salts associated with the sea. So that is why in Andes is also the melange, accretionary wedge of the Nazca plate when it is undergoing subduction. उसका जो what accretionary wedge है वो उठ के Andes बनाया. And in Himalayas, these are Tethys sea sediments. So that's why this is a relationship between the sedimentary rocks of marine origin and the lithium. So this is a country's wise lithium deposit. सबसे पहले बोलिविया, अर्जेंटीना, USA, चिली, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, चाइना. Okay, India. Okay, India is at this position now. Okay, कहाँ यूज़ होता है? बेसिकली हर जगह यूज होता है. सबसे ज़्यादा बैटरी में यूज होता है. नाउ दिस इज द लिथियम ट्रायंगल. सो लिथियम ट्रायंगल इज देयर इन बोलिविया, चिली, अर्जेंटीना. So this location is called as Salar de Uyuni. Salar de Uyuni is a lake, and Salar de Atacama is the lake in Chile, and Salar de Orazaro, okay, it's in Argentina. So इस ट्रायंगल में more than 50% of the world's lithium मिलता है यहाँ पे, and this is located in Andes. So this is Salar de Uyuni lake. So this is also called as the natural mirror. कितना ब्यूटीफुल है देखो. इसके नीचे सॉल्ट पैन्स होते हैं, एंड ओके, फ्रॉम दिस सॉल्ट पैन्स, फ्रॉम दिस ब्राइन सॉल्यूशन, द लिथियम इज एक्सट्रैक्टेड. That's why lithium is also called as white gold. Okay, so look at the properties here. So it is soft, shiny. Obviously it will be soft. Kyun? Because it is very light. What happened again? Technical issues. So एक लेक का नाम याद रखना. दिस इज लोकेटेड इन एंडीज. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सलार डी UYUNI, Uyuni. So this is about the periodic table and the logic of finding. Now this is called as perennial rice, called as PR23. तो इसमें क्या होता है ना, एक बार लगा दिया सीड, आप हार्वेस्ट कर सकते हो 8 बार, 4 साल तक हार्वेस्ट कर सकते हो इसको. इससे क्या बेनिफिट होगा? सो हमेशा ओके काटना, फिर अगेन यू हैव टू बर्न दैट. सो अगेन ओके टिलिंग, application of fertilizer, again transplantation, manual labor, breaking of the roots. So lot of losses can be avoided with the help of this PR23 variety rice. Who has discovered this rice? Chinese scientists, they have discovered this rice. So 4 years तक इसको हार्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. सो लेस केमिकल लगेगा, लेस इनपुट लगेगा. लेकिन वन ऑफ द कॉन्स ऑफ दिस इज इसमें वीडिंग करना होता है, बिकॉज 4 साल तक एक ही खेत में अगर आप पानी डाल रहे हो, उगा रहे हो, बीच में वीड बहुत जमा होता है. सो वीडिंग निकालने के लिए, वीड्स निकालने के लिए आपको फिर से लेबर बहुत लगता है. सो दैट इज वन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ दिस. Okay, a new road, okay, to Ladakh. Now look at this. So you have these locations: Darcha, Shinkula, Padum, okay, Nimu and Leh. So new road is being constructed. So here Shinkula Pass is important. Okay, SHINKUN, Shinkula Pass. So below this pass, this tunnel is being dug. A tunnel construct कर रहे हैं. So it will be connecting the Janskar Valley with Janskar Valley of Leh Ladakh to Laul Spiti Valley. So it will connect Himachal Pradesh with the Union Territory of Ladakh. So look at this information. It is built by BRO, Border Roads Organization. Now what is this mammatus? MATUS, mammatus. So mammatus, this is the mammary glands. So look at these clouds. These clouds also look like mammary glands. That's why these clouds are called as mammatus clouds. Sometimes they can give you a question. The term mammatus, recently seen in the news, is associated with A. It's a new disease which is found in the Congo basin of Africa. ऐसा कुछ देगा. B. It's a new satellite launch vehicle recently developed by ISRO. C. Clouds. ऐसा कुछ options देता है. Okay. Confusing options देता है. Generally, wherever you have this, okay, one single word, okay, you'll have such kind of option. So I didn't see the comments here. So this much map, is sufficient enough for 2023 prelims. Yes, Aditya, you are right. Yes, very good. So jet stream you have seen. Okay, this is the polar jet stream. We have seen all the effects of the jet streams. You already seen this. So they'll be keeping the warm water and the warm air and the cold air away from each other. Okay. Now what is this heat dome? So whenever you'll have this meandering jet stream, when this meandering jet stream, when it is flowing over the northern part of Canada, it will be creating a heat dome. It's a kind of a cycle pump. So here high pressure region is created. So whenever you are having a meandering jet stream, so jet stream ऐसा अगर meander कर रही है ना, so यहाँ पे high pressure form होता है इस तरफ, यानी यहाँ पे low pressure form होता है, ये ध्यान रखना. So alternatively, it will create high pressure and low pressure. So whenever it is meandering like this, a high pressure is created in the region, and this high pressure will have sinking air. So when the air will be sinking, when the air will be coming from top to bottom, it will undergo compression, and because of this compression now, it is being heated, and because of this heating, the temperatures will increase to at least 49.6 degrees centigrade. This is in Lytton. ये Canada है, British Columbia. It should be very cold. But because of this cycle pump action, heat waves are created. And this is called as Canadian heat dome. The jet stream will be playing a very important role in this, and this is also omega block. This is also called as omega block because it looks like the sigma symbol omega. आप resistance के लिए use करते हो the symbol omega, so that kind of symbol is seen here. That's why it is called as omega block. So these are the polymetallic nodules. So polymetallic nodules are found at the bottom of the ocean. So these are potato shaped nodules which are porous, black, earthy color, which has a size between 2 to 10 centimeters. These are present at the bottom of the oceans, and these are present at the hydrothermal vents. Okay, so you have to send equipment inside to extract these polymetallic nodules. So there can be a lot of effects of these polymetallic nodules. You are disturbing the benthos, so ocean floor disturb होगा, वहाँ पे organisms disturb होंगे, and when you are pumping this out, finally, okay, you'll be getting them on the ship. You'll be washing them. When you wash them, lot of sediments will be released. So it will be affecting the marine life also. But what is the advantage of extracting these polymetallic nodules is, so if you are melting these polymetallic nodules, so when you are melting these balls now, you'll be getting pure metals. And India is deficient in copper, nickel, cobalt, lead. इसमें India deficient है. So these metals can be obtained from the polymetallic nodules, and these polymetallic nodules, okay, they are present in central Indian basin, and India got the permission to extract the polymetallic nodules from the central Indian basin. They are also present in other locations such as Clarion Clipperton zone, Peru basin. So Peru basin, here you have East Pacific rise. So wherever you will be having MORs, mid-oceanic ridges. So along this mid-oceanic ridges, old mid-oceanic ridges, you will be finding these polymetallic nodules. Okay, and this is part of the deep ocean mission of India. So these polymetallics will contain 92.6 million tons of manganese, nickel, copper, cobalt. See, UPSC में जो भी देता है ना ऑप्शन, सबको टिक मार दो, because you can't deny that gold is not available, you can't deny that silver is not available, सब कुछ ही मिलता है, but these are available in high quantity. So these are the deep ocean mission. So India has got a permission to extract these polymetallic nodules from 75,000 square kilometers of area from the central Indian basin. And for this, the permission has to be taken from International Seabed Authority, which is one of the authorities under UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. So when you are extracting these nodules, the benthic organisms can be affected. Okay. So Suez Canal ka importance. So 12% of the global trade, 30% of the global container traffic. So 52 ships will be passing average on a day. You have seen which all lakes, okay, through which all lakes this Suez Canal is passing. Okay, this is the importance of this Suez Canal. You have seen these lakes, okay, Timsah Lake, Bitter Lake, etc. It is connecting Syed with Suez. This we have seen. Solar winds, magnetic field, auroras, magnetic reversal, shifting of the magnetic field. Sudan का स्टोरी भी देख लिया. Mountains, Nuba Mountains, Darfur. Okay. So Darfur region में जो highlands का नाम है जेबल मर्रा, ये भी ध्यान रखना, JEBEL MARRA. Of course, they will not be asking the names of these people, but Janjaweed पूछ सकता है. Janjaweed is the army of Sudan, which has committed a lot of atrocities against the people of Darfur who are non-Arabs. Okay, this is the Janjaweed यहाँ पे located है, अब देख लेना. So this guy's name is Hamedji. I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever it is. So this is the Turkey-Syria earthquake. This is where the epicenter was. So 7.5 magnitude आया था. Okay, this is the epicenter of the earthquake along Turkey and Syria border. So these are the faults which we talked about: North Anatolian, East Anatolian, and Dead Sea Transform fault. This we have discussed. Okay, we discussed the plates also: Arabian plate, Anatolian plate. Okay, Anatolian plate is part of the Eurasian plate, and niche you have African plate. Okay, you have seen this. So these are the various plates. You have seen the types of faults also. So the normal fault is created due to it's created due to divergent plate boundary. Reverse fault is created due to compression, and strike fault is created due to side by side movement. Okay. So national waterways, please go through this, because recently India has sent a shipment from the Haldia port. It went through Bangladesh, it went into National Waterway 2, and finally it has reached. Now you see how they are cheaper. So this is a transportation cost through highways, and this is the transportation cost through waterways. So it is less than half the cost over the waterways. So it is greener also. Okay, look at these figures also for comparison. So here Pandu terminal is important. So Pandu terminal is near Guwahati. So recently Haldia port से एक shipment भेजा था that has gone through Meghna, Padma, Jamuna, entered into Brahmaputra, Guwahati Pandu terminal पे आया National Waterway 2 में. So in that context, please go through all these waterways. चाहे तो screenshot ले लेना इसका. So these are the working waterways which are operational now. Okay. So this is a glacial calving. Okay, whenever the glacial breaks, it is called as calving. And if you are having water here, this ice which is breaking will fall and the water will overspill. And the spilling of the water will cause glacial lake outburst. या glacial lakes टूटेगा या वहाँ से पानी बाहर आएगा. Sometimes the moraine will be creating a dam kind of a structure here. Sometimes what happens is that, okay, these moraines will also break, and because of the breaking of the moraines also, this outflow of the water will be taking place from these glacial lakes. Okay. So this is Kedarnath. Above Kedarnath you have Chora Bari glacier. So here the glacial lake burst has happened, because of which more water is coming towards Kedarnath. Okay, so you must have seen this Kedarnath disaster. Before and after pictures you can see. Okay. So this is, okay, some of the information, okay, which has been the part of the current affairs. So almost 1 year's current affairs have discussed. So I don't think more than this anything they will be asking. नहीं पूछेगा. I'll be sending you the others also. I want to take more topics, but again the thing is मेरा भी उतना एनर्जी लेवल्स एंड एंथुजियाज्म नहीं बचा है. So that's the reason why, and legs are also paining because since from very long time, since from afternoon 12 I'm standing here. उसके पहले travel करो फिर दिल्ली में. I guess most of the points I have covered. Okay. So thanks a lot, okay, for your cooperation and your love and everything. So I have covered almost all the locations. Then if I think that anything more is required, okay, just before prelims I will take one more session. If I feel that any of the locations are missing, any of the topics are missing, so I'll be taking one more session, and then I will finish the rest of the part. Okay, so thank you very much for cooperating. Yes, and I'll be sharing this, I'll be uploading this. Okay, I'll tell you some important points. 2-3 important mapping points है, some things which I've missed. I will cover those. ये भी क्यों छोड़ो अभी. So यूरोप में सारा कवर कर दिया. एक Mediterranean Sea में one thing which I missed. So this region is called as Catalonia. So this part of the Catalonia around Barcelona, it is demanding for independence. वो ध्यान रखना. Okay, Spain, Portugal, Tunisia. Okay. Yeah, these countries important है. So these were the part of the erstwhile Yugoslavia. erstwhile Yugoslavia का part है. इसमें ये देख लेना, which of the following countries have a coast with Adriatic. So you have Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania. These have the coast with Adriatic Sea. Serbia, Kosovo and Albania. The Serbia, Kosovo and North Macedonia, these three are landlocked. Albania, Montenegro, Bosnia Herzegovina, Croatia and Slovenia, they have a coast. So these all used to belong to erstwhile Yugoslavia को belong करते थे, लेकिन ये separate हो गए. And Serbia, has Slavs. It has Russian ethnic Slavs. So Russia used to support Serbia a lot. And the recent country which has been separated from Serbia is Kosovo. ये ध्यान रखना, Kosovo. Okay, and Albania, is also part of this erstwhile Yugoslavia. Croatia has the longest coast of all these countries. Okay, this region is important because of the Slav and non-Slav conflicts. Okay, Russia Ukraine conflicts में ये भी important है. Kosovo. So any tips for the prelims? Asta I will cover. Okay, Belarus. So Belarus is a very good friend of Russia और NATO कभी ज्वाइन नहीं करेगा. ओके, अगर इससे आप एक ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो. फिनलैंड अभी रिसेंटली ज्वाइन हुआ है. स्वीडन ने रखा है पिटीशन, स्वीडन को भी मिल जाएगा जल्दी 2-3 महीने में. नॉर्वे इज ऑलरेडी पार्ट ऑफ दिस. Okay, one important point here. So this is all the continental crust. This is all part of CC, and this is called as Zealandia. ये है Zealandia. This could be the 8th continent. 8th continent बन सकता है. Okay. Yeah. Now talking about this region again, this is White Nile. It is coming from Lake Victoria. Yeah, Blue Nile coming from Lake Tana. Both of them meet in Khartoum and they become Nile River. So Nile River के ऊपर सबसे बड़ा डैम है आसवान डैम, and the second largest dam on this is being built by Ethiopia. This is called as GERD Dam. So Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Of course, Sudan will have a problem with this dam. So ये डैम का नाम यह ध्यान रखना. Okay, Lake Chad, okay, Lake Victoria. You've seen the Rift Valley lakes, and here in Botswana, you have Okavango swamps. Okavango swamps है. So these are the watering points in the savanna landscape. So जब भी सूखा पड़ता है, so the great African migrations will take place. In the northern hemisphere, when it's very dry, then all the animals come to Okavango swamps, and from here the animals also migrate to northern hemisphere. This is the migrations are taking place. Elephants, wild yaks, buffaloes, zebras, they cross these savannas across these countries. I've covered all locations. So very important location here in this part is the lithium triangle, and one more important point here. I'm covering the most important points here. Okay, this is Lake Maracaibo. Lake Maracaibo is very rich in oil, and it is present in Orinoco Basin or Orinoco River Basin के mouth में you have Lake Maracaibo. It is very rich in oil, and Venezuela has around 20% of the world's oil reserves. So despite having so much of oil, again it is poor. That's why it's important. Again यहाँ पे Central American countries में, so you have so many countries here. Okay, यहाँ पे एक location है Belize. Okay, Belize. Okay, you can call it somewhat autonomous province. ये ध्यान रखना. It is located in Central America. It is autonomous Belize. Okay. Recently, El Salvador. It's also located here in this region. El Salvador recently made lot of prison reforms. Means जितने भी criminals है उनको सबको जाके जेल में डाल दिया. The jails have overcrowded, and generally these countries are known to have a very high rates of crimes, murder rate, rape rates बहुत ज़्यादा है, and recently the president has put all these criminals into jail, so crime rate बहुत ही drop हो गया. So that's why El Salvador is in news, and यहाँ पे cryptocurrency legal है, legal tender है by the government. Understood? Next, so Cuba के south में, here you have Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, Guantanamo Bay. It is infamous for a prison of USA. So next you have Haiti. Haiti में frequently earthquakes आते रहते हैं. It's one of the poorest countries in this region. Okay, Puerto Rico, it belongs to USA. So these are called as Greater Antilles Islands, and these are called as Lesser Antilles Islands. In Lesser Antilles, Trinidad and Tobago is important because of Indian diaspora. So next here, between USA and Mexico, okay, there is a river called as Rio Grande River located. Rio Grande. So Rio Grande is forming a boundary, and along this river, a lot of illegal immigrants also enter into US. That's why it is important. Okay, and this is Gulf of California. It is located between mainland Mexico and Baja California. This is called as Baja California, and this is Gulf of California. The Gulf of California has very high biodiversity. It has more than 5,000 species of invertebrates. Okay,